So, guys, this is not a stream. This is not anything that I think that for public safety, stream needs to be addressed. And the other channels that are live now aren't covering it right now because they're talking. If people come on and watch the stream, that's fine. We're just gonna, hey, look, people stream snipe me. What the heck? We're gonna stream snipe right now, if anything. Let's have a look at for public safety, even though for public safety isn't there, aka Chris's stream. And let's have a look.
How they did Breonna Taylor situation and how they protested for Breonna Taylor and how they protested for me and all this and that. Like, it's different when you got the DOJ on your side. And I want them to know that y'all are supported. It's different now. Ain't no like we bringing you ever been at, I don't know. I'm from the hood. So like I don't been in people's houses that got roaches. And when you turn that light on, you see the roaches run.
Scatter. Yep.
That's what's about to happen. So you know, messing with Chris. You feel me? We just got to keep putting that light on it.
Right. You know? Absolutely.
Chris strong, man. Chris gonna be all right. You know, and I think why he's going through this is now he's seeing how they handle stuff from the inside. So now he's gonna have more power because just like with me, when they did all that stuff, I wish I could I'm gonna pull up the news article.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Shy guy was able to give me a news. Like I was able to tell my experience, and I think maybe Chris, matter of fact, Chris showed that in the video he did about me.
I think he did. You
know, and that takes the level of what we do to the higher level, because now it's not just us speaking it. Like, yo, Chris went through it. Not only was they treating him unfair out here outside the jails, they treating him unfair inside the jail. It should be no reason why Chris should be in a hole for 7 days. He ain't do nothing wrong. They violating his rights right now. You see what I'm saying? But when stuff is in the dark, they feel like they have the power to do that. But when you start exposing it, you start flicking all them lights, they gonna start running. They might act like they tough, but when this stuff start getting around and the right people start getting connected and all this and that, don't think that Meade County can't get shut down, because I don't shut down Grayson, Kentucky by myself. You see what I'm saying? Right. And they call it the 3%ers out there and all this and that. You just haven't met the right person yet.
When you're talking about 3%ers, I don't think that a lot of people will understand exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. We got, like, I don't want people to get it misconstrued, because it is some people that are good 3%.
Before people forget who she's sharing on her panel, let's understand who this man is. This is a sex offender, and it doesn't show it here. But at 92, so he's a year older than my sister. So 30. This 32-year-old man is on the Kentucky State Police sex offender registry for molesting a 12-year-old child. Exactly. So tell me how I deserve to be bullied. I deserve to have people dox me. I deserve to have my identity stolen. I deserve to have my family destroyed because I have joined a panel with someone that people think is a criminal, but a legit journalist is happy to join someone who molested a 12-year-old child. Explain that to me. Explain the logic of that.
I go by that X-Hate was built on was hate can cast out hate. Odie Love can do that, by Martin Luther King, one of his famous quotes. So I don't want people to get it misconstrued, but at the same time, I do have different connections. Just like I got a connection with you and Chris, right? And you know, I do believe that we had these different connections, right? Because when we get put in situations like this, hey, brother, I need you, da-da-da-da-da. You know, I have the perfect resume to go to Meade County. You see what I'm saying? I took Breeze in Kentucky. when they said, well, if you come out here, D, we're gonna take you out. And they saying I had money on my head. But I noticed how scared they really was, because I didn't go out to Grayson, Kentucky with a gun in my arm. I went out there with a megaphone. They the ones that had the guns and was pointing guns at me and all this and that. And I still did my speech in front of 800 3%ers that was calling me the N-word, calling me monkey. And it made me feel like the guys that's in Meade County that was saying, you know, it was a video that went viral because, you know, the same people that was harassing Chris, and they was like F Black Lives Matter and all this and that. You know?
They are the people out of Carrollton, and they were doing that in Carrollton, and that is the group that you also seen over in Meade at our court hearing. The exact same group of people.
So are these the people that's, you know, they just keep harassing y'all?
Yes.
Because I know, I don't know, man. It's just crazy that people, you know, I think people just be feeling, it just shows how connected they really is. It shows how deep that the retaliation that these officers and these people are connected.
Right. And
they're doing this out of spite of who Chris is, right? And if we can see it, the DOJ can see it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say we got to get busy. We got to, the petition. We need to start a petition tonight. You feel me? And
I agree.
We put it in the link, or if somebody can work on that right now and put it in the link, I'll share it, get out on feet. Once that petition start going, then we start pulling up to places. Frankfurt. I got connections in Frankfurt. You feel me? Big connections in Frankfurt. So if these people really want to play these games that I think they really don't want to play, because I am a boots on the ground type person.
Right.
Like, so for my brother Chris, it can get shut down. You know, and I'm not worried about the people that act tough and all this and that. Yes, I know I'm redeemed. Yes, I know I'm changed. But hey, I love protesting, and I will carry my cross all through that town to bring attention to my brother Chris. You know,
one thing I was going to let everybody know is the way we met you and Shy. It was whenever, it was a couple of visits before I had the heat stroke. The officer at City Hall, it was bad. Not as bad as it ended up getting, but made us leave, refused to let us in, and, you know, they got a little physical with Chris. So I started like researching the officers that were there at City Hall that day in Louisville, Kentucky. And while I was researching a certain one, you and Shy came up, and I was like, Chris, I was like, this officer has done this to other people. I was like, you need to reach out to them. I was like, reach out to them and find out their story, because what I'm seeing is absolutely horrific. So I think that's about the time that he reached out to you.
Like, and I get emotional about it, man, because, you know, like, you met Shy, you know, and Shy, man, Shy ain't, like, my baby beautiful, you know, like, and it was so hard for me, man, to watch this video and then have to deal with the same officer, because the officer that punched me in my face, the officer that broke Shy's wrist and slammed her up against a wall, was on my back. You know what I'm saying? So, like, dealing with that, man, it's like, yo, like, and I wanted to give up, and I think that's what, like what we was talking about earlier, I think that's what they trying to do to Chris.
Absolutely.
But it's not gonna work.
Absolutely.
You know? So they throw, like, after all that, after Shy, you know, they broke Shy's wrist. It was the same officer. It was Corey Galloway, and then Aaron Amers. I know, and then that's how we connected. Chris reached out to me, was like, hey man, I seen your story, I seen Shy's story. You know, we'd like to do a story on you. And that's ever since then, man, you know, me and Chris, you know, been cool, you know, and I think the same people that's been harassing Chris, I think when Breeway, you know, when Brianna's sister went out there and all this and that, right?
Yeah, because they were over in Carrollton after they hired
what's his name? I can't even think about his name.
Cosgrove.
Yeah. But let me see if I can. Let me see
I
if
was
I.
going to say, if you have some videos of, that way everybody can see what you've had to go through also, just to sort of
I
make
got you.
everyone a little bit more aware of how common it is for this to happen in Kentucky.
Man,
And I think a lot of times,
common.
I,
It's
I think a lot of times the reason why people don't vocalize is out of fear, out of that fear of retaliation and out of fear that something worse is going to happen to them. So they shut up.
because your family become a target. My daughter has become a target at school. I don't have CPS, cases, fake cases put on me. And, you just gotta, like, when our friend passed away, it's a motto that we live by. And I don't know if some people know who Travis was, but he was one of the main people who was standing up for Breonna Taylor, and he was murdered in the midst of the protest. And we have a saying that we go by is keep going. Keep going. In the midst of us losing, we lost so many people in the midst of protesting.
Oh, yeah.
Louisville has the longest protest ever.
That's saying a lot.
Protest ever.
That's saying a lot.
And it needed to go down here in Louisville. And the blessing of my situation happened. The DOJ chose to investigate my situation, and it really helped elevate my situation. And about last year, I say about 7 months ago, I thought I was going to get justice. And then the DOJ announced and released their findings here in Louisville, and I was named in the findings, and they pointed out how my civil rights was violated, how that situation should have never happened. And I do feel that Chris in my situation is very similar. Chris civil rights is being violated right now. And I'm on here asking because do I feel like coming all the way out and protesting and all this and that? But I am asking that they let my brother go, because I know this little town can't afford to have a protest. I know this little town can't afford to have 1,000 people coming to this little town, because I know how much it costs, because I don't shut down a little town just like that. And how they had to pay $100,000 just from police and sheriffs from other states to come to help out. So all I'm asking, man, is to let my brother go.
And see, we've never done like the protests like you guys have. We have mainly been like doing our cases, and then whenever we have a victim reach out to us, we help them also. So we're coming from like a common goal and different,
Let me tell you something, sis. I got more white chocolate followers than I got chocolate followers. I'm gonna say that much. You know what I'm saying? I got more white chocolate followers, people that follow me, than people that look like me.
And it's like I was saying earlier, it's not even about color. Like I don't see color, I see character. It's about character. For me, that's what it is. I've seen a couple of people throw in, race stuff up here. It's not about race. It is about us seeing the injustice done to everyone. And yes,
just for a moment, if there's anyone questioning whether or not he's a sex offender, let's have a look at our friend Denorver Garrett. This is who she's talking to. This is who he's talking to, guys, and have a look. Now, it doesn't say he's on the registry, but it doesn't say because I couldn't take the full screenshot. But guys, look him up in the Kentucky State Police Sex Offender Registry. He is a sex offender for molesting a 12-year-old child. And that is the feature of their channel. The same channel that wants to sue me for defamation, the same channel that wants to sue me for being unethical, the same channel that says that I am a disgrace to the community. How does that make sense?
That was a horrible.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, you're good. Carol Devlin. Love you. Stay strong from Canada. Thank you very much. And we love you too. We love all of you guys.
Is it playing? Hold on.
I was gonna say, I don't know which screen you're on. It's up there. You may be looking at the wrong screen, D.
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry. Because it said I think we doing a good job though.
Yeah, considering that I hadn't even talked to you until earlier today.
Yeah,
We've had some.
Let me. I might have to.
You think maybe you're froze up?
Yeah, I might have to. Because it's not letting me. Hold on, let me do it this way.
Maybe if I take. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do it this way. Because it keep popping up to another link. Hold on.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. Hold on, let me see something. Take me down real quick.
Okay.
Take the share down. All right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it keep. All right, let me do this.
Yeah, Julia Diesel's missing his dad, and he's like twice as whiny right now because I'm doing a stream.
Justice for Chris, man. But now I can't.
While you're working on that, I'm trying to think. I could probably send this over to my phone, and I could probably get that ready. I am going to, after you show your videos and stuff, D, I am going to show the a clip of the video footage from here at the house. So all y'all over in chat, don't let me forget.
All right, here goes Shies. I think I got it.
Okay. You ready for me to pull you back up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's on there. Yep.
Yeah. I think that is it.
Motherfuckers to come see what the fuck was going on a long fucking time ago.
That's why I start tearing up. That's shot right there.
You bitches should have saw who the fuck.
That's Craig Galloway.
Why are you doing the whole thing's on live? Don't worry about it. That's his job too.
Watch how you lift her up.
That's his job too.
Felicity, no. Felicity.
About it.
That's bullshit.
That's his job. Why are you doing that? Stop!
No, Felicity, no. Felicity, no.
Like, so like, that's why I was turning up, man, because when he grabbed your wrist, that's what was making me think of like when they grabbed Shy's wrist. And this is what really started. Shy's situation is really what got me active because
Right.
like it really broke my heart, man, because dealing with Brianna and Shy's situation was one of the first situations that the police really hurt somebody down at the protest, and they really don't talk about her situation,
Right. It's not it's not publicized as much as I feel like it should be.
But I think also women get overlooked a lot too. You know,
Yes.
I think women, like, it's sad that it's like that, you know, and we gotta stop that, because you know how they that man shouldn't have grabbed you. You feel me? They should have called another woman officer, and I think that's how it should be. I think a woman officer needs to address a woman. It should be no reason why a male, somebody my size, has
Right.
to put my hands on a woman. It's not right. It's wrong. And I think, man, if we don't keep doing what we're doing, you know, and keeping up this fight, you know, I don't want what's going on with Chris or what happened to Shy, you know, to help it to our kids, you know, and that's
Absolutely.
why I do what I do, you know, and but I'm gonna show a video. I'm gonna see if I can pull it down real quick, sis. See if I can is it down? All right, cool.
Yep.
Let me see. See.
We thought that it was really important for everyone to be able to see everything that, you know, we can share with you guys that has been happening in just Kentucky itself. And I mean, Carrollton and Louisville and Meade, they are pretty close together. Am I right? I think I'm right.
Oh no, you're right.
I was just trying to think in driving distance, you know, they're all like 30, 40 minutes away from where we're at right now.
But like I'm gonna show like the beginning of what happened, and then I'm gonna show, you know, everything, because like I went through so much stuff.
Yes, you have.
With Louisville, the court system, and I'm still going through stuff. But I have made up in my mind that, you know, I know God got me, you know, and I know, and I had somebody, they spoke it over my life. They said that, D, you're gonna go through so much, but you're gonna be able to keep the faith, man. God gonna allow you to keep the faith to keep going. And I speak this over Chris right now. Yes, Chris is going through what he's going through, but God is about to elevate his platform, his finances, and all this and that. So when he come out, he's gonna be able to hop on here and say, look, this is what I went through when I was locked up, but look, I made it out. And he's gonna be able like what I went through. Like, man, even though they try to put me through something that was trying to break me, when I got out the hole and they put me in regular population, do you know how many people knew who I was, and it gave hope to them to see that they was able to meet me in the midst of me being locked up? You know, and I thought, you know, well, they thought it was gonna break me and it was gonna discourage me, but it really, what it did is boost my confidence. It really boosts my desire to come out here and link up with people like you and Chris. So
yes,
but go ahead.
We have a common goal, and it's for them to stop hurting people, for everyone to just stop getting hurt. I think
hold on, sis. I think somebody talking about they got a petition. Somebody started a petition.
Oh, they already get one up?
Hey man, go ahead and share that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, there's supposed to be a link for a petition in the chat. And
let's go ahead, man. The cash out. Go ahead and hit that cash up, man. Let's get our brother out. But go ahead and put it up, sis, for they can let these people see that, yo, like we do this for real, man.
And it's not just an isolated incident.
Nah. See, this is, you know, I was blessed because my situation made Good Morning America, TYT Live. I was really blessed. They couldn't just sweep it under the rug. So if they really want to play these type of games, this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring nationwide attention to what's going on with Chris. If they don't release Chris right now, I'm telling you, it's going to be nationwide attention. If I got to carry the cross all the way where he locked up to, we were going to bring nationwide attention to what's going on with Chris, because I don't did it before. I don't carry the cross all the way to DC. You feel me? And God opened up the doors for me to make it on USA Today. So if they don't let my brother go, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say justice for Chris, Meade County, whoever trying to hold these keys and keep my brother locked up because he's exposing the corruption that's going on. I'm telling you right now, God is my witness. I'm gonna bring national attention to y'all little bitty town, and I promise y'all don't want that type of attention. But all right.
And you know what, D? It's not even us. They are actually attacking a little local newspaper that wrote an article about the situation, and it wasn't even from a biased perspective, because that paper didn't know us. So we're not from around there. And
we gonna show, man, how I went to little old Grayson and I had the meeting. So that's another. We gonna grow into that. And I don't know how much time you got, sis. I don't know if I don't know if people are busy, but I'm willing to stay on here for a while if it's gonna help Chris. And I think these people need to see that, this is real. This ain't as people say for play. This is.
Let's talk for just a second again. Because remember, guys, do they take stupid pills? They might. Because remember, guys, understand, Tiffany is agreeing and promoting a Kentucky, let's pull it up, Kentucky State Police registered sex offender. Denorver Garrett. Now, again, so I don't look like I'm faking something, or for the stream snipers watching. No, there's no stream snipers. They're watching the actual stream or watching Wrangler stream. So I actually believe I'm safe of that. But watch exactly and go and look up for yourselves what he is convicted of doing. Because I'll tell you, and I don't want you to believe me. I want you to look it up for yourself. This man is a child molester who molested a 12-year-old girl. Don't take it from me. Look it up. A simple look on the Kentucky State Sex Offender Registry. Type his name in. But again, this is the type of person that Tiffany is aligning herself with in her time of need, and she's telling the followers to support. But wait a minute. I'm an honest content creator. Hold on. Police station right behind me. Forgive me. I'm an honest content creator. But those content creators, the troll channels, the hater channels will say, oh no, don't pay attention to Will, but go look at this new guy, Denorver Garrett, who, yes, he's molested children, but he is a better content creator, though his content has 4 likes a video than Will. The absolute hypocrisy is mind-blowing, guys, and it drives me absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Stop resisting. Stop hitting him. Stop hitting him. Put your hands behind your back. Stop hitting him. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Hit him. Stop him. I got it on camera. Stop. Hit him. You hit him. Swear to God. I'm not moving, so if they touch me, I don't give a. I got it on camera. He broke his glasses.
So to give you more context into this arrest, the citation said that the protester there Denorver Garrett was arrested for standing in the middle of West Jefferson Street at 6th Street holding a large cross, quote, causing a disturbance to the public and causing a safety issue to motorists. He was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. And according to the citation, an officer delivered 2 to 3 closed hand strikes, but the video shows the officer punching Garrett at least 4 times. Garrett was released on and is scheduled to be arraigned on Wednesday, and that's according to public records. But if you don't like the way the protester was treated in Louisville, you should keep in mind that red states like Florida are passing laws, and this did just pass in Florida, that essentially allow motorists and cops to run protesters over if they're blocking the road.
What question?
I'm
You're
not
always
kidding. I'll
asking
give
these
you the
random
details on that in
questions.
just a minute, Jake.
What question are you talking about, dude? Come on.
You guys notice he was carrying a wooden cross, a large wooden cross. You know what that means? That means he's Christian. I don't know if you got that. So this is what they do to Christians in America. Now, as you saw, he's black. So obviously that makes it a little different, doesn't it?
Patrick,
so I don't know if they would have done that to a white Christian.
It's like people create a narrative
that was right.
And look,
and they'd be in a lot of trouble, right?
Hold on. Let me turn the volume down and let it play. Because as a man of color, you have to understand what happens is the moment a man of color resists, and it's amongst officers that are not of color, that's the reaction that's given. It's a natural reaction. So I get it. It's fine. But you know what it is? It's just like, again, it's a controversy I don't want to really get into. But I think that there is controversy here as well, because I feel like people of color exploit this and take advantage of it. They're quick to say, oh, well, I'm a victim because, yeah, I resisted, but I was, doing this and this and that, which this guy seems like he's that type of guy. But I digress.
Jesus Christ. And maybe had a skin shade that's a little lighter than that guy, but only a little lighter. If Jesus was back carrying a large wooden cross across the street, you know what they do? They kick the living crap.
I don't know. You asked me the most randomest things in my stream. I don't know what you're talking about. What was singled out? Comparing 2 things that were similar from your other earlier stream. What are you talking about, dude? I don't know what you're talking about. You asked the randomest stuff, dude. Like, really, like, it's getting annoying. Like, ask a relevant question, or make sure you actually know what you're asking before you comment, please. And ask me a question to get my attention, please.
And that's something that God showed me with my situation. It was nice that, like, I wanted to give up, because my daughter seen the video and she was having nightmares. And a lot of people don't know, like, you get PTSD from all that, and
Yes.
And for them to come and say that I was resisting arrest and they were saying that all this was justified, I was losing hope for a while. 2, the DOJ came to Louisville and said that they was investigating and launching an investigation into LMPD. And that video was replayed, and they said that this wasn't justified, that LMPD, Aaron Amherst, violated my civil rights. It gave me so much hope again, because it let me see and truly understand that God was in the midst all the time, and
Right.
it was elevated, So I think with Chris, it's gonna get elevated in the right way, because when people tell lies, I don't know if you ever heard this saying, they got to keep telling lies. Once you tell one lie, you got to keep telling lies. And what somebody asked the question, they said, who policed the police? The DOJ is the big daddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's they daddy. You see what I'm saying? So for
that is right.
That they got to do something about my situation. That's a big deal. And now I'm on here saying that they daddy need to do something about Chris's situation. Because this is injustice to the fullest. Chris shouldn't be locked up right now. Chris shouldn't do anything that he should have. All he was doing was exposing corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And what these people do. Let's talk about Grayson. because I seen it with my own eyes. Let me tell you how little towns like that operate. The same town that's messing with Chris, right? Because I experienced, and I know we're not going to ain't about color, but at this point it was about color. You know, it was about this little black kid that was at an all-white Christian school standing up to racism in this little town called Grayson, Kentucky, where I played football and I had a football scholarship. And I gave up my football scholarship to stand up and protest for the justice of Breonna Taylor. And this little town didn't like that I was standing up and protesting.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? He gave up his football scholarship so that he could fight against the injustice. He gave up his dream to be able to help fight to protect people. And
I can show y'all, like, I'll show y'all one of my testimony. And I get emotional because I'm passionate about this. I hate bullies. I hate people that, you feel me, they think they got this title and think they invincible, right? And one thing about God, man, God ain't all into those titles, man.
Well, here's the thing, buddy. You know what I hate more than anything? I'll tell you exactly what I hate. Oh, I don't have it anymore. I do have it. Hold on. I have it here. Don't worry. I hate sex offenders, dude. That look it up. That sexually offend 12-year-old girls. Yet you want to play the victim. An absolute disgrace. You want to play the victim and say you don't like what's happening and God will hold people accountable. What do you think God has to say about you?
And they was like, well, you know what? Y'all need to go ahead and let D go ahead and graduate because he's bringing too much attention to our town. And that's what I'm talking about. These towns don't really want that attention. They act like they want that attention till we really put that town under the radar. And that's what I did. So it was a guy that was well known. I think he was like the leader of a biker gang out there, and we went live and the video went viral. I'm talking about because they try to say, well, he's gonna bring the Bloods and the Crips to our little town. I never said I was bringing the Bloods and Crips to your town. I said it could happen. Y'all, I want to hear being racist and calling people the N-word. It could happen. I never said that people was gonna come destroy the town.
Right.
I said people can come. So they took a video and edited it and like took all different stuff out the video and make it look like I threatened this town. So what the mayor did was call all his 3%er friends. They hey, Denorver Garrett is bringing the NFAC to town. I'm like, my bro, I never did that. Like, but that's what they do because they have so much fear in them. You see what I'm saying? So if they really struggling with fear, so what they was doing with Chris is they're struggling with fear because they know Chris know and he's on to what they're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they use the military tactic. You feel me? I wanted to be a Navy SEALs. You know why I wanted to be a Navy SEALs? Sis, I'm very smart. I love to play chess. You feel me?
You are very smart.
I love to play chess. I'm really good at. Look. Let me show you. Not the most of nothing. But look, I got chess trophies. You feel me? Like
you absolutely do have chess trophies. That's fantastic.
You feel me? So I love to play chess, and that means I like to think. You know, and when you under pressure, the dog. When you under pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's what you do with that pressure.
You're right. Absolutely.
So this town was making me leave where I was playing football at because I was standing and I was speaking up for Breonna Taylor, and they didn't want to hear that. They was all saying, well, She deserved to die. She was a drug dealer. All this nonsense, right? So you know what I did, sis? I started protesting.
Yep.
At first, did nobody come out?
Right.
It was just
Right.
me and my cross, the same cross that I carry today. At first I had Breonna Taylor's picture, and I was just having every day I go out to the corner. Next thing you know, it grows to 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. Next thing you know, it turns into 300 people. You know, sometimes, you know, facing a bully, it can be lonely sometimes.
Absolutely.
But when you're doing it right.
Absolutely.
So I ended up leaving college. The coach called me in the office, was like, "Hey, D, you either gonna protest or you gonna play football." With tears in my eyes, he said, "Well, you got enough credits to go ahead and graduate. You might not get the college degree that you want, but you're gonna get a college degree." So I walked away.
Guys, that's not how going to college works. If any of you believe this guy, that's not how it works.
Away from my dream of playing football.
Wow.
And so I kept going back to
True
the little
that.
town protesting.
True.
Then I brought Breeway to Olive Hill, and Olive Hill is like one of the most racist spots in Kentucky. And we went there, you know. And the reason why I do it is to show people that, hey, it can happen in your town too. You know, if you won't get on live and talk it disrespectful, and I don't care if white or black, but if you violating people's rights and trying to be a bully, you can get
Absolutely.
exposed. You know, but I like to show something that little clips from Grayson, if I can. So it's just
Yeah. You ready for me to pull it up?
yeah. Hold on.
And
Wait,
while
wait,
you're
wait,
while
wait.
you're showing this, I want to take Diesel back out one more time.
Okay.
I think he may have gotten preoccupied with chasing a cat.
Put it down real quick.
You got it up there?
Nah, I'm gonna find it real quick. Go ahead and do that. I'm gonna look for it because I gotta go look for it.
You want me to take you back down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to mute because I think Sha just tried to call me too. So we just going a little break.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right, guys, I'll be right back. I got to take Diesel out. I don't know what happened whenever I took him out a while ago. I took him out before I started this live. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You're telling me dude just sit. Wait, did she mean? Wait, I think she meant to. I think she meant to play a video and doesn't know what she's doing. So he's just gonna sit there awkwardly and read the comments. Like, number one, like clearly Tiff has no idea what she's doing. Like, understand, guys, the fact that she's using for public safety's account, she knows that's where the money is. That's the whole reason why she's using someone else's channel for whatever. And because of that, she has no idea even how to live stream. She didn't share the video. She shared it and then she shut it off. So dude's just going to sit there for the next 5 minutes looking awkwardly. Let's not say a word and just make fun of this guy. Because remember, guys, I wish I could share this as well. Oh. It'd have to be a video file. I'll figure out a way, guys. But I want to make sure that you guys know who we're talking about right now. But let's just sit in silence. Let's have a look. Again, guys, nothing. Dude's just sitting. Is he eating his shirt? Maybe. You know what, guys? Let's talk to all of you. Let's talk to all of you guys. Guys, this is your chance because she'll be gone for a few minutes because she doesn't realize he's not playing a video. So let's talk to you guys. Anyone wants to drop a comment? Look, guys, so this is an impromptu stream. This isn't a stream for content. What this is just a stream to cover the hypocrisy. Because I saw this and oh, wait a minute. Never mind. She's back. Never mind.
Sorry.
I found a couple videos if you want to go ahead and pull that up. And I just want to show y'all how
All right, y'all,
bad
let's have a
it
look.
was. Them calling me the N-word, them telling me to go back to Africa. They took my truck, stole my truck, right? They was just trying to scare me. So
Right.
I kept going back out. And every time I went back, I came with more people. You know, and that's what I'm saying is that they never touched me, right? I don't know if they were scared. You know, I'm a bigger guy, maybe. That's probably what it is. But I'm gonna show a video of me walking right by with my cross. And they mess with one of my friends. She's a little white lady, pulled her hair, but then wait for me to walk by. So they waited for me to walk by, pull my friend's hair, and then a big guy, he was a 3%er, knocked my friend out. You know, so all these little videos is to show that, yo, this ain't, I've been doing this, you know.
Mhm.
So but I'm gonna go ahead and play this, and I really want y'all to really want to pay attention to what's going on.
Thank you. But you won't want to make the big sense about it. Thank you. He's just fine. Did you just say that? Yeah. Thank you. But you won't want to make the big.
So look, y'all. This is deep. Like, this is so deep, right? Because and I'm gonna bring this to the surface too, because I see somebody made a comment about, you know, my record. You know, it was something that happened when I was a juvenile. I was 15. And I can show the paperwork or whatever the lies, the comments, people, you know, but that's what they do. When you bring
Absolutely.
and that's what I'm saying. My name has been slandered so much from doing this type of work that I don't even pay attention to that. You know, I address it, but that's what they fear about me, is that I don't let it derail me, you know, because look, watch this.
These cops act.
So this is when my friend got punched. Listen.
Oh shit, here we go. Told you to start. I told you to start tonight. Told you to go wild. Share the video. Everyone run for a minute.
So look, watch one more time. So these are 3%ers all around them. Them are the 3%ers that I was talking about. Watch when he pulled my friend's hair.
He's a sex offender. That's what he is.
bit of what I went through.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know.
At
I
your
thought I muted the audio.
graduation
I
at that,
apologize.
like they
That was
couldn't
at my
even,
graduation, so you can take it down, sis.
like they couldn't even wait until after that.
Because, you know, and because in our reality, this is what they do. And I want to encourage you, and I hope when Chris get out, he see this and then they encourage him. Now listen, when I say when you're exposing, and then this is what I said to Tynesha's mom. You know this. I don't know if you heard Tynesha's situation.
A little bit.
The one that was poisoned in the jail and she passed away. And I'm real cool with her mother. So I went out there to that town, similar like this town. I carried the cross out there.
Right.
They gonna throw all the dirt they can throw at you. I'm sorry, but they gonna just like my situation, the situation that happened when I was 15. I was a minor.
Right.
Know nothing about, but it was jabs, my record, my exes, all this and that. They gonna throw anything they can to stop you from exposing darkness. I'm redeemed. I'm changed. I'm covered. You feel me? I'm healthy, you know, but they gonna do it, you know, and that's what they're doing with Chris.
Yep.
So I hope, man, Chris will take this and see and his followers, everybody that's on here, support Chris, push this out because it needs to be pushed out. Sign the petitions. Go ahead, sis.
And see, even with Chris, they're twisting the narrative of what happened with him.
Yeah.
So it's always something.
They did it with me. You know, they said I resisted. They said, look at his record. He deserved to get beat up by the police. That's what they said. The chief blast my name, blast my record. Everybody was just, you know, but one thing that God won't do, if you really doing this and your heart is really in it, he gonna bless you. It don't matter because the ones that's supposed to be supporting you, they gonna be supporting you, and it's gonna outweigh the noise. You feel me? It's gonna outweigh the noise, right?
Yep.
But
We definitely have been blessed with an amazing family. Everyone that you see, I don't know if you can see the chat, the comment section or not, but we've been truly blessed.
And everybody that's on here, if they can, on all social, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, send that petition out. Share it, like if you can, on all your platforms, because this is very important. You know, this is big, you know, and we got to do this to bring attention to Chris, man, because right now they have Chris in a place where they can control the narrative. So we need to bring light to that narrative right now, you know, and let them see that, yo, you're not going to be able to do this to Chris and keep, you know, and think you're going to get away with it.
Right.
You know? So hold on. Let me.
While you're doing that, did you get yourself muted?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. While he's doing that, I want to say thank you to Julia. She did a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you to Michael Tripto. Oh, sorry. $50 says free Chris. Yeah, I'm definitely ready for Chris to come home. Absolutely ready. And then we have Tyson Solomon, new member. Welcome to the family. And then Carol Devlin again. Thank you as well. Give you another shout out again because I'm running through the whole list and I don't want to miss anybody. King Bluto, $5 super chat says, seeing cops manhandling ladies makes me sick. I agree, especially whenever the gal in question is as small as Shy is, because she's smaller than I am. And then we got Gloria, for public safety and OMC is some strong freedom fighters. We definitely try to be. We definitely do try to be. Bernie Daddy, I'm going to get down to help y'all. We were able to stand together 100%, and I feel your passion for this. Can't wait to see Chris again. You are more than welcome. Anybody that wants to come, absolutely more than welcome. I would love to get to meet a few people. Michael says, buy D a good supper. D is pretty cool, and I will definitely send this his way. Tube sock, free Chris. He's innocent. Spread the word. JJ for jail. Got RJ. Welcome to the family. Did I miss anybody? Hey, Anita and Jean. I see you guys in the comment section. All right.
I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. And then make sure I didn't miss anybody. Got RJ. Old Shot 503. Baylor Bond. Free Chris. Thank you very much, Old Shot. Thank you, everyone that has done the super chats and stickers. That's definitely something that we are working towards having to replenish in our checking account is the bond. And of course, attorney fees. And it's getting to be about that time.
We need to start a GoFundMe. You said somebody started a GoFundMe?
Yeah, we have ours from before, from whenever we had to raise money for putting money back into the bank for attorney fees and stuff, and like just expenses in general. So I think that everybody's got that link going, and then I think that there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link. And if you can afford to help out, that's great, and it's very much appreciated. And if you can't, that's A-okay too, because you guys are here with us, and that's what means the most.
And also, I know on my end,
here's my thing. Hold on, guys. There's a couple of things. Number one, they're grifting again. Number one. And number two, I don't get it. They're grifting and they're. I don't get it, guys. I just don't get it.
Well, it's because I had you on mute.
I'm sorry. I don't know why it was calling.
No, you're good. You're good. I just didn't know who the number was.
Yeah. So I want to play one more video. Just me going through all that pain of like house arrest, being locked up, and when the DOJ. I just want to show the hope that it showed when the DOJ said they was investigating my situation. And hold on, let me find it.
Let me know when you have it up there.
I got you, sis.
Okay.
Oh, matter of fact, you know what I can show?
What?
I can show part of the video that Chris did.
Yeah, he did do should have included pretty much almost everything.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Yeah, he really did. Hold on, let me pull that up if I can find it. Let me see. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's difficult to navigate.
Mm-hmm. I thought I had it. No, that's not it. Hold on. I'm sorry. Bear with me.
Oh, you're good. I'm wondering if I could
You said what?
well, I'll wait. It's good.
Not that much longer. Okay. Here we go.
Did you find it? Because if not, then I'm going to pull up a.
I got it. You can go ahead and put it on there.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yep. You're up there.
Police for the abuse that he went through. And to say that today, it's because the prayers of the righteous, the ministers, the pastors, the wee women that have been wailing before God for change. And we see a changed man here. Yes. And I'd like to give him that opportunity to tell God thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah. God is good. Amen. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
D, can you make that any bigger? Can you like?
Yeah, hold on.
It's like the healing process could.
I don't think I can. Hold on. Let me find another. Hold on. Take it down real quick, sis. I'm sorry. I'll find
Okay.
another.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to see if I can bring up my the security camera footage.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do that.
Think I might have it on this one. If not, I'll just forward the link. Well, I can't find where I sent you the link. I sent it to your Facebook, didn't I?
I think you did. Did you?
Yep, I did. So I'm just going to forward it to Chris.
All right. Hold on.
All right. Should be easy to get it up now.
She's not here. All right. She's at Jones.
Now, how do I screen share? I've got this. I'm going to figure it out.
You should stay sound at the. It should be at the bottom of the stream.
Nope.
No.
I'd say that this is probably a lot easier on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hmm.
Here's the thing about all of this is that, there we go. Is that this dude, D. Garrett, who, by the way, is a sex offender. I've shown it before. If people want to question, I'll show it again. But he has no clue whatsoever that he is not even close. Like, they're getting all this money, and he's just a pawn for that. Meaning, she's using him for content. And he doesn't get it. They're probably making $200 to $300 on this stream, probably more. Well, $200 to $300 from like gifts from their channel members, and then monetization will get them another maybe $60 with the number of viewers and subscribers, right? Dude's getting none of that. And I'm hoping that enough people are exposing that he's a sex offender on the registry for molesting a 12-year-old girl. I just wanted to put that in.
All right.
I got it. Hold on. I'm trying to see how do I. Hold on. Let me see. Because I need to share my Facebook.
Oh, okay. So you need to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, hold on. I got it. Share stream. Share stream. I guess. All right, hold on. Don't pull it up yet.
Okay, gotcha.
Um,
I have so many numbers in here that don't have, like, I haven't saved any of these numbers, so it's hard for me to get where I need to go.
All right, I got it. You go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, it might be. Hold on. She getting a shower.
Ah, gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
So this is one of the camera angles. I'm not going to show all of them. But if you guys look, if you can see the back of my car, you'll see the state trooper going up to the left of my car. And then over on the right-hand side, there's a trash can there in that back corner that's next to the building. And you'll see the sheriff. It looks like a sheriff's uniform. I haven't absolutely identified the person, but you'll see him. He'll turn and face towards the trash can and get up on his tiptoes. And that's where the camera is. And that's where he's unhooking the camera. So if you wouldn't mind hitting play for me. Okay, so there he goes. And so there's a little spot in between the building and the front of my car where you can see him standing. Yeah, right there. You can see him like sort of moving. So that's the state trooper. And then there comes the deputy. He spotted the camera. He goes over and he says something to the state cop.
So this is violations of civil rights in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
And then there he is. You'll see he's facing the trash can. He's up on his tiptoes. And that's where, yep, the camera is directly above that trash can.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he was doing.
Sad.
Yep.
All right, hold on. You want to pull it down?
Yep. All right. So what I would like to see, or what I was going to ask you if you would like to do, is Do you have anything going on tomorrow?
Who, me?
Hmm.
I got church.
Who
That's
else,
about it.
dummy? And you're not going to no
Do you
church.
want to come
have
back
no
on
children.
live a little bit like tomorrow evening? And maybe we can show the rest of the videos and stuff.
Yeah, we can
And
do that.
then I'll be able to talk whenever Chris calls me, and I won't miss the call with him.
Yeah. And I think we need to go ahead and just ask Chris what he would want on my end and for me to do.
Okay.
I think if we just keep doing what we're doing, one of us make a video about the petition, TikTok,
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram, wherever even if you just send in the link to your family, everybody on here, man, send the link to 4 members in your family, man. It'll start adding up.
Right.
So,
Right. So, what we'll do is we will do a live again tomorrow about the same time. Let Dee share a few more of his videos, and then I might show another one of Chris's, and that'll sort of bring you guys a little bit up to speed on what Dee's went through, what Chris has, been dealing with, and me as well, obviously. And then maybe, I don't know. I guess we'll discuss that more, but we'll definitely show some more videos and stuff tomorrow. Go in more detail about some of the stuff that's been going on.
yes. All right, sis.
Michael Tripto says, Chris is gone. We need him back. Thank you very much. Yes, we need him back. Stomper. Don't see that it says anything, but thank you. Thank you very much. Super sticker. Super chat. I don't even know what you call those. All right. So yeah, I will get the stream going early tomorrow, and it'll be in the evening, and I'll get that link out, and I'll get notifications out. That way you guys know a little bit more ahead of time, and it's not quite so last minute. So I guess just plan on about 6:30, you think?
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, and we'll get some more videos up and get those shared with everybody. So
Okay.
thank you guys so very, very much for spending time with us and looking at videos and going over stuff that we wanted to share with you guys to get you up to speed on everything that we know of that's been going on in Kentucky. And I'm sure there's way more than what we have been able to share with you guys. I know there's a lot more. So thank you guys, and keep your notifications on. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and we love you.
Oh, there we go. Huh? Why is Daryl Brooks playing in the background? It's funny how she ended that stream, guys. Because if you notice, she ended that stream by saying, hey, we showed you guys everything that happened. Please come back or please understand what the problem is. Guys, what from that stream did she show us that's relevant to why Chris is incarcerated? The first video she showed was the arrest video that we've seen a dozen times. After that, it was this dude who is a sex offender, which I've showed multiple times. He's a sex offender. She showed videos of him being arrested. And it's like, wow. Wow. Truth is, guys, it makes no sense. Like they mentioned, GoFundMe's, contributions. If anyone pays a penny to that channel, that is a disgrace. They're not fighting for anyone's rights. They're not fighting for anyone's freedom. They're not fighting for anyone's liberties. They're not doing anything relevant. What they're doing is breaking laws and harassing the public and being criminals. And people are paying for them. Anja puts it perfectly. A flock of a feather stays together. Totally, guys. Look, I'm not here to stream tonight. I'm honestly here to just hang out. And like that stream that's why I pulled. This is like an emergency to an emergency stream. I just streamed without saying anyone. Hold on. It's all a setup. Just like they try to put dumbwaiter in jail for. Don't even get me started, dude. The hypocrisy is nonsense. Look, guys, stream's over. Let's watch a Daryl Brooks video. I mean, because I'm not one to just cut things out. I have unlimited time here. I know we're streaming tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. I thought that was an interesting video or stream to cover. I don't have a lot to say because like I can't make sense out of nonsense. And this is the true good citizen. You have a child who is close to the same age of the person that you have on panel that would molest a child your child's age. But because he supports frauditing, you're able to support that. Now, people are going to watch this and say, well, wait a minute, Will, you're a hypocrite. You get on stream with Wrangler. Oh, Wrangler committed the worst crime. Wrangler killed a guy. Wrangler this and that, but you still support him because he likes frauditing. Pull up your receipts, show me evidence, and chill out. That simple. Let's watch a Daryl Brooks video, guys. Let's have a look and see what Daryl Brooks has to say.
To abide by the oath that you swore, which was in your oath, correct? You swore to protect the Constitution of the United States. You swore to protect we the people. That is not being done here. If every valid argument that I raised is taken by the court as a sign of disrespect or a sign of trying to intentionally be disruptive or causing a problem, when I'm merely seeking understanding, because I don't understand. I'm merely seeking to understand why this information has yet to be provided and we're this far into this matter. And there's still no verified proof. Even as I sit now saying this, there's still no proof being provided. Zero. How is this case allowed to continue without these documents and filings being verified? Is there any legal factual basis that can state why this information has not been provided? Why the docket sheet is incorrect? Why there's so much on the docket sheet that should be on record that's not even in there? That if we had the recordings of the record, they would see was brought up numerous times that doesn't even show up. I'm just asking for your honor to be fair, which is another right that I have, the right to a fair trial and the right to an impartial jury.
So here's something. The thing is, and I'll bring it close. It's Norm. Happy to hear from you. Absolutely. Please email me. Well, I feel like I shouldn't respond now because I want to play this video probably in tomorrow's stream. My goodie take us. But what he's referring to a docket sheet is a docket for in a court setting. Pulls up everything that happens in a court proceeding. And there are small things like entry of appearance, motion to dismiss, right? Motion to withdraw as counsel, a precipice to transmit, affidavit of service, like little things that are on the docket that probably are irrelevant to be put on the record because they are a given to a civil or a criminal trial procedure. But because Brooks thinks he's a smart person, he thinks, oh, they haven't mentioned it on the record. Oh, let me remind them, if they don't mention it on the record, I'm putting them on notice for a mistrial. Like, dude, not even close.
I can go on and on and on about what's not being done. I have, again, I said,
I thought I was unmuted. Listen, this is an emergency stream. This is the reason. This is because for public safety, aka Tiffany, was live streaming, and I had to stream immediately. Like, I'm just supporting you guys because there are 20 people here. Well, then again, I can end the stream. I mean, that's Vegas VIPs, and that's their stream max, right? Oh no, Tats will put a video about me tomorrow for lying about it. You are a liar. Tiffany was on her live with a convicted a sex offender of a 12-year-old. But I'm the scrub of the internet, guys. Like, Jesus.
I have the right to face my accuser. Where's the injured party? Who's making the claim? I asked Your Honor numerous times for Your Honor's name. You wouldn't answer. I asked, did you have a claim against me? You did not answer. I asked the whole courtroom, did anyone have a claim against me? No one said anything, which you stated for the record, a non-responsive answer. A non-responsive answer is an agreement, which will be a tactic agreement by you, Your Honor, that you don't have to answer these questions that you should be answering. I have that right. The plaintiff in this matter, which was stated by witnesses in testimony to be the state of Wisconsin.
People keep saying I'm from Philadelphia. I was in Philadelphia until 7 years old. No, maybe 6 or 7 years old. I haven't been in Philadelphia since I'm 3.5 hours north, if I say it. People try and find my address. If you're in Philadelphia, reach out to me because I have friends there. I go there all the time. Like, please reach out to me. I'm happy to connect. If you're in Philly, like, if you're cool, let's have a beer or something like that.
But when I asked, do they see the state of Wisconsin present in the courtroom, the question is shut down, which is a valid question. The plaintiff should be present in this matter. Where is the plaintiff? Who's bringing the claim? Because we know an entity can't bring a claim. It has to be a living, breathing human being. No one is stated for the record if they're the injured party. Not Your Honor, not the prosecutors, not anyone in the court has stated to be an injured party in this matter. No one. Not one person. I have the right to demand that the court place in the evidence any unrevealed contract. Has that been provided to me? Have that been placed in the evidence? I would like to see it, which is my right. I have the right to inform the jury about the truth and their duty and their rights. That's the First Amendment and the Sixth Amendment. But I'm repeatedly told to shut the question down when this is valuable information that the jury should be privileged to know. They deserve to know. Once they were chosen to sit on this jury, why are we keeping information away from them that they deserve to know? They ultimately have the power. They decide the matter. Why are we keeping information, valuable information, from their knowledge? That's a disservice to the jury.
Thanks for coming.
And
always
frankly,
appreciate the trolls.
Disservice to the court that they're not allowed to hear things that they should know, that they should be informed of. It's our right to inform them of everything that they have the power to know, to do, and to know. They deserve that much. It would be a travesty for them to make a decision without being fully informed. And these are all valid things. I have the right to protest and object if any of my rights or demands are not being met. I've done that numerous times only to be shut down. Numerous times. I've raised the issues that I didn't consent to anything that may have been suggested on behalf of my former attorneys. I've never even consented to them making a plea on my behalf. I haven't, as a matter of fact, when it comes to a plea, I haven't even had the opportunity to entertain any plea that may have been suggested by the prosecution. We haven't even talked about that. Not one time was it ever brought to my attention that the prosecution even wanted to offer a plea. That's another issue. I have the right to challenge the jurisdiction of this court, which I've done numerous times. I have the right to demand that the code be construed in harmony with the common law. I just raised that. I'm constantly referred to as pro se when I've raised the issue that I'm pro per. I have the right to conduct my defense pro per, free from professional restrictions imposed upon licensed attorneys, which this court is well aware that I am not a licensed attorney. In fact, the court is also aware that I only had 3 days to prepare for a trial that the prosecution has been prepared for a whole year. We see these boxes right here. This box alone is 45 or 50 pounds full of so much information. I haven't even gone through half of it. It was stated for the record that the discovery, in its entirety, was brung to my housing unit on the 29th of September, which trial was scheduled, that would be a Thursday, which trial was scheduled for Monday. How can I possibly go through all that, all the paperwork, all the digital discovery and things of that nature? How can I go through all of that and be prepared in 3 days? That's a clear bias. I did not have time to prepare for this. Everything I'm doing is off the top of my head, winging it, taking it as it comes. When the court is well aware that I was not prepared, I raised the issue that it should be an adjournment, at least at the minimum, it should be an adjournment because of that fact, at least to let me go through all the discovery. That was denied. No valid reason was stated for that when Your Honor knew there is no possible way, humanly possible, that I could be ready for a trial of this magnitude in 3 days. That's clear bias. I have the right to face the injured party claiming damages. That's under Article 3 and the 6th Amendment. I raised that issue again. Where's the injured party? Is the injured party present in court right now? Can anyone make a claim against me? Can you make a claim against me, Your Honor? Do you know of anyone that can make a claim against me, Your Honor? Can anyone right now in court, anyone, make a claim against me? And because of that, Your Honor, the motion to dismiss should be granted based on that alone. There's no injured party in this matter. So who makes the claim? Who? I have the right to put the judge on notice of my intent to appeal and any ruling decisions during the case. You stated for the record that I would have to wait until appealing process, but my right is that I can raise that issue during the case, which I've attempted to do. That's been shut down. I have the right to specifically reserve all of my rights, which I do at the beginning. I have the right to say what I want and to be heard under the First Amendment. And when I attempt to do that, it's taken as a slight to the court, a disrespect to the court, or me intentionally coming into the court to be disrespectful, which I've stated that is not my intention. Never is it my intention. I never intend to walk into your courtroom, Your Honor, and be disrespectful intentionally. I never come into this courtroom to disrespect anyone. But because I don't understand, I raise these issues because they have validity. I have the right to object to any statement made by the judge or the prosecution. I've done that and been repeatedly shut down. Without a lawful explanation. I've repeatedly asked the court for a motion for a finding of fact to determine if things are being done legally. I've been denied that numerous times without merit, which is also my right. I have the right to recuse the judge at any time, which is also a right. I have the right to a speedy and fair trial by impartial jury. I think it's safe to say that my speedy trial right has definitely been violated because this matter has been taking place for roughly a year. I've never consented to waiving anything related to a speedy trial. And if that was done, it was done without my consent or without my knowledge. We're way past the speedy trial date, way past. When the change of venue motion was brought up, I believe that was the first time I came before Your Honor in early March. I want to say March 11th of this year, when the change of venue motion came into play. It was decided by Your Honor that wouldn't be decided until the 20th of June, I believe. That's over the 90-day mark right there for a speedy trial. That was denied, and I still don't understand how that was denied when it's clearly obvious that at minimum the venue should have been changed based on the fact of the magnitude of the matter. There's no possible way anyone in this county would not have some type of connection or some type of knowledge, whether they were told something by someone that they may know. The news reporting alone, just that alone, there's no way that this trial should be taking place in Waukesha County. That's obvious. That's obvious from the way the motion was presented, the coverage alone, the political campaign ads that plastered the defendant's face all over the TV every single day. Every time a political campaign was brought up, it made reference to this incident. Every single time. The fact that people have children that go to the same schools in this county, that people may have worked with the same people in this county. You yourself, Your Honor, stated that you at one time worked with the father of one of the people that was injured in this matter. That is a clear conflict of interest right there. You also stated for the record that not only did you work with this father, but that at one time they may have donated to your, I don't know if it was to you becoming a judge, or I would have to look through the docket, but you said it on the record that they donated money to a cause of yours. You also stated that when you had gained knowledge of the incident and that their family member was injured in the incident, that you reached out via phone. I don't recall if it was text message or an actual phone conversation, but you put that on the record. You also stated that the nature of your relationship was strictly professional. I don't know about you, Your Honor, but I've worked numerous jobs, and I know what professional relationships is and personal relationships. I've never had the cell phone number of anyone that was a personal relationship saved to my phone that I could reach out immediately when I learned something. That would constitute a personal relationship of some kind. Whether hanging out from time to time, having a cup of coffee, or hanging out time from time, grabbing a beer, or hanging out from time to time, watching a game, or anything of that nature. It would definitely be more than just strictly professional. That was stated for the record. Again, I go back to the Sixth Amendment again. In terms of when I asked for the
never fear has Ray, hey, Ray, I will give you the money back. There's no reason, Ray, for you to do that. Hezekiah, give Ray that money back. Or I will find a way to refund this. And Ray, you give me the 5 memberships. Ray should not pay a penny of her money for this. Yeah. Stop. Wait, hold on. Did Ray? There's no way Hez got that. Oh my God, Ray Hez got a membership. Hez, oh my God. If you talk about anyone that does not deserve a membership, the man who I email, and he'll say, "You're the worst anti-frauder channel on the internet. You deserve a tasing." Ray, you're too kind. Thank you so much. Memberships went to Nancy Newhall. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy, oh, I won't say that. I don't remember for sure. JC Landry, Kelly L, Nightman's wife, and the unfortunate membership went to Jessica. Okay. Anyway, guys, we're just hanging out at this point. I mean, for people that know, we ended the stream, and well, people are actually coming in, guys. We're not going to be on much longer. We only came on because for public safety, aka Tiffany, started streaming with a registered child sex offender. I can say it on YouTube, right? Who molested a 12-year-old, and it's on the registry. And she gets on YouTube with him to talk about people's rights. I personally did not like that, which is the reason I just got on stream abruptly and said, "Hey guys, let's watch their hypocrisy." And because there's 20 of you here, I said, "Hey, we'll keep watching." So look, guys, like Ray, like I honestly feel guilty. Anyone else, they can give me their money. Please. Give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. But no. Not you, Ray. But thank you. You haven't given me any money, Hez. When are you giving me the money? I give you money. I am a paid channel member on your stream, on your channel. But no, Hez. No. You don't pay me a dime. Ray, because, again, whatever Hez pays you, I will pay you double. That's how special you are. I mean, look, if you guys want to stay on for a little while, then this is the video where Daryl Brooks, for anyone that knows the Daryl Brooks trial, he goes on a bunch of rants. But this video is when he goes on a 50-minute rant, as the attorneys on the other side will specify, are baseless, irrelevant arguments and demonstrate his ignorance to the law. And personally, for someone that works in the legal sector, I look at this video and I'm like, dude, you have no clue how, forget about an attorney. I'm not an attorney. I am the assistant to an attorney. I'm a paralegal. But any basic attorney, let alone a district attorney and two assistant district attorneys would look at what you're saying and dismiss you. So let's keep watching.
The motion for the evidence motion that I raised. That was denied without any explanation. That would be strictly to place in the evidence any unrevealed contract. That's under the Sixth Amendment. Clearly, there's been repeated violations of my Sixth Amendment. We all know that the United States Constitution is the law of the land, period. It trumps everything. We also know that any law repugnant of the Constitution is null and void. We know that. There's still no basis for the motions being shot down. Why was I not granted the motion for finding a fact? Why did it take so long for me to be brought my entire motion for discovery? Why was the motion to prove jurisdiction not verified? Why was the motion to dismiss the case for all the reasons I said not being granted? Which brings me to the motion to subpoena witnesses. I did everything that was asked of me by the court pertaining to those subpoenas. It was understood by the court that this is my first time ever having to do this. I didn't understand how to properly fill out the subpoenas, at which the prosecution volunteered that they would give assistance. The only assistance I received was for them to check to see if it was filled out right. That was it. That doesn't amount to any assistance. I was still left to fill it out on my own. And then when I did that, correction still had to be made, which would verify what I was saying. I don't know how to do this. But I still complied to what the court asked of me. And even then, it was a big old thing about the subpoenas. I can't subpoena the plaintiff in the case. Well, how can I not subpoena the plaintiff in the case when under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser, which is the plaintiff of the case? So how could the subpoena not be filed? And how could the plaintiff not be called to the witness stand? That begs the question of, does the plaintiff even exist? Which it was stated for the record that not only by a witness, a detective Casey, that got on the stand and said on the record that is an entity, which is not a living, breathing human being. And then it was stated again by you on the record, Your Honor, that the plaintiff is an entity. So the question still stands. How can an entity bring a claim if it's not a living human being? So where's the claim? Will the plaintiff in this matter, the state of Wisconsin, be allowed to testify? Would they be allowed to be in the courtroom? No, they will not, because they don't exist. Therefore, the claim doesn't exist. For all those reasons that I just stated, the case should have been dismissed a long time ago. Once those issues were raised, this case should have been dismissed. And at the very minimum, it should have been dismissed because those still have yet to be proven. We're still talking about jurisdiction. That's been being asked for over a week. There's still no providing of license to practice law yet. Not even by you, Your Honor. Why was I not provided with a certified copy of your oath of office? Why would you not state the name that is on file with the Secretary of the State? Or I made reference the first time to the Secretary of the Treasury, and then you stated on the record that it's the Secretary of State, even though you knew what I was referring to when I asked. You referred to your name tag, but that's not the name registered. We both know that. So why wasn't that proof verified? You gave me a copy of your oath of office, but it's not certified. So how can I verify that that is the true oath of office that you signed? How can I verify that it's valid? That's the reason why I asked for it to be certified, which you stated for the record you will not do that. You never stated any legal reason why. I have the right to ask for that legally. I also have the right to call any witnesses to assist my defense, which is the main reason why I subpoenaed the plaintiff in this matter. I also have the right to challenge all relevant laws in this trial in terms of their intent, interpretation, fairness, enforcement, and whether they serve and protect the people. From my knowledge, the design of the statutes of the law was written for the common people to understand. So that would mean the final determination or interpretation of what the law says comes down to the people. You know this, Your Honor. Are you not a public servant?
I just want to briefly just address, like, I'm letting it play out, guys, but I want to address a couple of things. Let me take it off speaker. I want to address a couple of things, a couple comments. One, we don't have these oath. No. We don't have. It's not oath. He says these are your oath of office. We don't have these oath of office here. Number one. And we don't use Bibles in court. Look, that's just a ploy for sympathy. Which, let's be honest, if you're watching on Law and Order, like, that's something that people will do, and it'll because it's like if you have 17 members on jury and one person is a devout Catholic, a 7-day Adventist, a Christian man that believes in the Bible. Trust me, that will factor in. So that's why he does that, just in case. Is it illegal for you to charge me with murder when the people I killed? I'm sorry, I'm trying to do a Hez impression. It's terrible. Oh, hold on. Let me do a News Now voodoo impression. Oh no! Is it illegal for you to charge me with murder when the people I killed are not here to testify against me? Sorry, guys. That was my impression of being tased. But, like, make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. He ran over 70 people, killed 6 of them, and it claims that his rights are violated. No. Voodoo, every morning when I join the stream before going to work, I'm going to request a tasing. Hez doesn't give it to me because he hasn't seen my comment. But trust me, every morning at between 9 and 9:30 a.m. my time, I request a tasing. Anyway, let's carry on to this rant.
You also know that this docket sheet is inaccurate. Every filing up until the point that I started representing myself was filed in a name that was represented by all capital letters, which is not my name. Nor has it ever been my name, nor have I ever seen that name or individual. Every single filing or paperwork was all in capital letters. Ever since September 29th, roughly around there, now everything starts to go to lowercase letters. Why is that? What prompted the sudden change? I still have filings that have all capital letters, which I state every time I come into your courtroom, Your Honor, that is not my name, nor do I consent or agree to being called that name. I'm merely here as a third-party intervener on behalf of my client. Did I accept for value in return for value? We go through this every time I come here. Every time. You bring up Illinois versus Allen when we had the issue of me being removed from the courtroom. We went through that where Illinois versus Allen states that there are 3 options when a defendant is being disruptive in court. You stated for the record that you identified a 4th one, which is not cited anywhere in that case. It's not cited anywhere. So the question would be, how did you come up with a 4th option that's not written in that case? Did you take it upon yourself to add this 4th option to justify denying me my constitutional right by being present? You could have done the 3 that were stated. Any one of the 3 you could have done that were stated in the case. Nowhere does it say you can create a 4th option. Not upholding my constitutional rights. I'm sure you know about Title 18, USCS 2381, which states that it's treason not to uphold your oath of office. Treason. You repeatedly make judicial determinations that clearly prejudice in my defense. And then when I question you about, are you making judicial determinations, I'm repeatedly shut down. Which leads to today. The constant push not to have an informed jury. Not giving legal valid grounds on objections, not noting objections for the record to make sure that the record is clear. I'm sure somewhere in the jury instructions, you informed them that the state of Wisconsin was bringing a claim. But then you make the judicial determination that I'm not allowed to ask questions about the plaintiff. That's clear bias. And it prejudices my defense. You know also that you have an electronic filing system. I find it hard to believe that I was told yesterday about my subpoena for the plaintiff that I had to wait for a filing in a timestamp when I've seen it done numerous times in just a few seconds right in front of my face. When the prosecution needs something filed, it's filed immediately. I have to wait, or I have to wait till the next day. That's a clear bias and a clear prejudice to my defense. Obviously, the court knows that I'm not privileged to the same filing system. Which brings me to the reason why I brought up the issue of assistance of counsel. Under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to assistance of counsel. It doesn't say anything about representing yourself without assistance of counsel. Having counsel represent you and having assistance of counsel is two totally different things. You, Your Honor, gave me paperwork that was a waiver of counsel. We both know that any contract can be altered if I don't agree to certain terms. I crossed out everything in that paperwork that I did not agree or consent to, and specifically wrote on that paperwork that I do not waive my right to assistance of counsel. At the very least, I should have been awarded a standby counsel. Not someone to represent me, to speak for me, but someone to help me do things in a timely fashion. Get things filed in a timely fashion. Get motions together in a timely fashion. Make preparations to get things done that I don't have the privilege to do in my current situation of being housed at the Waukesha County Jail. I gave you back that paperwork and you accepted the paperwork that I altered, that you understood that I didn't agree and consent to those things that were altered. You accepted it and you filed it. That is in the record. I have copies of the same paperwork that you accepted. So when you accepted that with no objection, that becomes a tacit agreement. But yet I'm still forced to come in here with zero help. I think it's clear that that prejudiced my defense. Knowing that the prosecution has everything that they need for this matter at their fingertips. And I have to jump through every hoop possible to even get things filed in a timely fashion. It was stated for the record that the unit that I'm housed in the Waukesha County Jail, and per jail administrator Angela Wallenhoff, that I'm only allowed out of my cell for a few hours a day. So I'm roughly locked down 22 hours a day, not given the privilege to access everything that I should be able to at the time that I should be if I was general population. Arrangements could have been made months ago for me to be at least in some form general population with an upcoming trial. Reference was made to being able to use LexisNexis or whatever it's called. We call it the law library. That may be the easier way to describe it. I'm only allowed to access the law library at certain times during the day. The rule of the jail is that when you're not in the day room, you can't access the law library, which is on tablets. We are not allowed to have those tablets in our cells. That prejudiced my defense. How can I work on my case? How can I look up certain case laws? How can I do any of this if I don't have full access to it? I even suggested some type of order that could be made by the court to allow me more time out of my cell, or to talk to jail administration about allowing me more time out of my cell to be able to use those when needed. And to be frank, in a proceeding of this magnitude, there should not be even a time where I don't have access to the materials that I need. If I'm not in the courtroom or sleeping, I should be awarded the time to work on this case, seeing as how I only had a couple of days to prepare for a trial of this magnitude. Which brings me back again to the change of venue again. Even right now with trial going on, there's still political ads being shown every day that reference this incident. There's still talk throughout the jail about it. There's been a ton of hate mail received to the jail since the beginning of this. It did die down for a little bit, but it picked right back up the closer we got to the trial. Hate mail that comes from people right here in the city of Waukesha. Which gives more credibility to the venue needing to be changed. Yet and still, that was denied. It's impossible for impartial jury to be found in this county. And that's not to discredit people in the county that can be impartial. It would be unfair to say that no one can be impartial. That wouldn't be accurate. But with the level of scrutiny that this whole incident has, the reporting, the Facebook groups, the constant, there were Facebook groups created because of this. The reporting live stream on Court TV has comment sections where a lot of insensitive and nasty things are said. The sheer insensitivity of some of the things that are said on there. I know a lot of people probably don't care about what I'm about to say, but it still needs to be said because it's truth. The fact of the matter is, that I have children too, family too, loved ones too. that also have been ridiculed and had their names drugged to the mud and have threats towards them. Loved ones that had to leave their home because they were getting threats thrown through their mailbox. Children that didn't feel safe going to school because they were getting bullied behind what was being said. And that's not to sweep anything under the rug whatsoever. To constantly say and report this incident as attack, terrorism. It's unfair and it's insensitive. It's a definite tragedy, definite. And that will never be swept under the rug. There's always.
You would think at this point this is his closing statement. Oh no, I'm sorry. You would think this is, and here's the thing: for a judge to allow a defendant to do this, to allow someone who was disrespectful to the court, someone who had no regard for human life, for all the negative things you can imagine, the judge still allowed him to go on a 50-minute rant. That's what's so impactful about this. A 50-minute rant. And then has the nerve to say it wasn't a fair trial. It was not a closing statement. Well, no, here's the thing. He wasn't in front of the jury, which is what's impactful, because that's the only reason this happened. If you watch the beginning of the video, the jury was excused, so therefore the judge had latitude. Right. Right. If you watch how long, so the stream for Chris or for public safety ended at 1:30. We're at 2:10, so yeah. Like, keep watching, guys. I mean, you guys have been on for a while. Keep watching. But yeah, right. For 50 minutes, the judge allowed this waffle. Carry on. Let's wrap it up and watch the other attorney and the judge's response, and then we're gonna get off, guys.
Always going to be healing that has to take place. It's going to be difficult. And that should not be swept under the rug whatsoever. But it's very insensitive and unfair to not recognize that there's many other victims that never is talked about.
It was from you, Ray. Thank you, Ray.
And for
Thank you
people
so much.
to paint a certain picture, mostly from this county, to put this picture out there, it's not only hurtful, but it's insensitive, and it's not true. I'm sure the court read through the motion for a change of venue. I'm assuming, though it was a lot of paperwork in those motions. I think it was obvious that the venue should have been changed. Obvious. It's too many connections and it's too close. It's too close. If there was any chance for a fair trial and an impartial jury, it should not have been in this county. But yet it was denied without any validity. Zero. There's so much bias that's going on that and even with all this, for the record, we still have no proof of jurisdiction. We still have no bond on file.
So if you all notice, his entire defense is his ignorance to the law. And Judge Doro in this case makes probably the best legal statement that creates awareness for anyone that ever thinks about representing themselves pro se. And that is, your ignorance to the law is not a defense in this case. This man was ignorant to the law, which makes him the worst possible defense. But he refused to have an attorney. And he's going on this rant. The judge is allowing him to do so. So that he can't on appeal say, oh, well, I never was able to state my claim. Oh, well, I never was able to express how I needed help, blah, blah, blah. And this is like day 9, I think it was. Day 8. Day 7 or 8. Day 7 or 8 this was. It was like the middle of the trial, like, but not like the beginning or the end. And he did that specifically so that, hey, well, I don't have an understanding of what's going on. So, and it's like, I don't know, guys. I really don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But here's the thing, Ray. Because of his narcissistic personality, he actually thought that he had a chance to get off, and if anything, get like a misdemeanor deal for assault. Notice, he tried to pretend that this trial was only about Erica Patterson. Which is why all of his, like, if you listen to the police officers he questioned, that's all he wanted to talk about. To Erica Patterson, that's all he wanted to talk about. Who, quite frankly, on his defense, should never have been called a witness. Because Erica Patterson was irrelevant to the crime of him murdering 7 people. If she was, her testimony would have been more impactful than his spin on her narrative. I mean, you're not wrong. And here's the thing, Hez, you put it perfectly. He's trying to, I think in his mind, the murdering is so irrelevant. I'm thinking about doing a video of the top 10 moments or the top 10 times Daryl Brooks clearly was guilty. And one of the things that indicates that is in his closing argument, where he said that his conscience was clear. Let me get this straight. As Hez, aka Frauditor ForPublicSafety, says, it's perfectly legal. Or he says, I didn't know it was illegal. Meaning it's legal to murder people and say that your conscience is clear. You know what? Screw you. I'm getting pissed off, guys. Screw you. I'm done with
in the
this
docket
idiot.
sheet. We still have no plaintiff. We still have no claim. we're not sure of the relationship between you, Your Honor, and a father of one of the people that was injured. We're not clear on that relationship, no matter how well prepared the speech was, because it was a prepared speech. That was obvious. Where's the proof? I just asked that same question. Can an affidavit be given that there is no bias, no conflict of interest, and no interest in the outcome of this case?
As someone who's been to court many times, that is not required. Trust me.
There's no proof. If you hold the full judicial power of the state, or is it the military power?
Again, if you have a presiding judge presiding over your case, that is clearly irrelevant. And many, if not any other judge would have shut this down immediately. And here's the thing, like I said, like he assumed he could sweet talk his way out of it because he's manipulated everything else in his life. Understand that. So therefore, he said, hey, I could probably get off if I just try and bully people. But it didn't work. That's why on the 16th day, or the last couple of days, you'll notice he stops trying to bully people. He just is like, he'll get in the courtroom and he just won't talk, which we'll cover later.
Mr. Brooks, I've given you about 50 minutes to...
Oh, now hold on. The judge has heard enough. Listen to the judge, or rather the other side, the attorney. Not Witchoff. I can't remember her name. Listen to the district attorney. Listen. Attorney Opper. Listen to Attorney Opper. Listen to her response to this. And tell me if she is not on point with Daryl Brooks's rambling rambles. And by the way, guys, thank you guys for being here. Technically, we streamed for 4 hours earlier. We're here. This is technically, I mean, look, this stream is not connected in any way to the earlier stream. This was an emergency stream just to see what Chris and Tiffany were saying. And then we came on here. You guys are still here. 35 people. You guys are awesome. Continue to like, share, subscribe, and hey, drop a super chat. Become a channel member. Listen, channel members are great. I made an apology to my channel members. Did I make an apology to you? No, because you're not a channel member. Keep watching, guys. Let's watch the attorney and the judge's response.
Make your various arguments. You've now repeated yourself a number of times. So I'm going to turn to the state to see if they have any response. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, I'm going to summarize what I just heard by quoting from a case from the Eastern District of Wisconsin, federal case found at 2022 Westlaw 3045190.
Can you repeat that last?
I'm so sorry. 3045190. Retzloff versus Moran.
I wish I had you on stream. I know it's late. I wouldn't even ask you to join at this point. We'll have you on in the future. And Ray, if you don't mind, just tell me who that gifted membership. Thank you, Casey. Thank you. I didn't mean it. Yeah, that's just what everyone says. You don't have to ever do that, please. But just Ray, if you could just tell me who received the gifted membership, that'd be great, so I can welcome them to the channel. I appreciate everyone that gives the memberships. I really do, because it creates our community. It expands. It creates a bigger family for us that is drama free. Like I said earlier in my video, as you guys saw earlier, we're drama free now. Went to Christian. Oh, Christian B. So it went to Christian BNC, welcome as a member to the channel. Hey, you know, there's a fee. Everybody pays a price. But back to the comment from earlier. When he said that he has children too, and they're subject to the hate that of the crime he committed, like, it doesn't make sense. Understand that argument. He's upset that people are angry at him for killing 6 people by driving over them with a car, running over 70 plus people. And he's bothered. His feelings are hurt that he's getting hate letters in the mail and saying, oh, well, guess what? I have children too that are subject to this. If you care so much about your children, you wouldn't have driven over 70 different people. And if you did, you would have found a way to be nice and polite in court. If you were nice, if you were polite, if you were well-spoken, maybe you could have gotten, I don't know, a life sentence reduced. But he chose to yell and scream and berate the judge. And if you guys watch, which is part of probably I am going to do this video. It won't get a heck of a lot of views, but I'll play it on stream. Where it's like one of the top reasons why Daryl Brooks was convicted for the crimes he committed is because he would berate the judge in front of the jury. As the jury was walking out, he would usually say, what you're doing is not right. You're a public servant. Oh, yeah, we should have addressed issues before the jury came in. We didn't even address everything. Like, he did it while he was running away from the scene of beating his baby mama. You're telling me you would rather accuse Erica Patterson of killing 70-something people when you were the one pissed off that she didn't get any money? You were the one pissed off that she wouldn't get on her hands and knees and bow before you. So you get in your car, kill 6 people, drive over 70 different people, and then your closing argument say that your conscience is clear. And then, before that, on day 16, he argues that the vehicle malfunctioned, causing him to not be able to control the vehicle. I'm so glad that the judge, even though the judge could have entered it, but the judge knew it was BS, which is why she didn't allow it, and he put up a fit. It's so BS, guys. I'm getting myself worked up. It's too late at night for this. I'll have a heart attack and I'll die. So let's just listen to Attorney Opper and oh my God. I'm getting it. Guys, it's like people say, "Oh, Will, you're so invested into the drama on YouTube. You're a drama channel. You're attached to these channels that are at the hip." No. What drives me insane are frauditors and these sociopathic sovereign citizens like Daryl Brooks. Oops, that's not Daryl Brooks, but that kill people. They play victim. That's what drives me insane. Come on, guys. Come on.
Case is talking about many of the topics that Mr. Brooks has now recited to the court, and simply states the majority of Retzlaff's filing is incomprehensible jargon and cut and paste legal mumbo jumbo. Sovereign citizen theories are frivolous and wholly without merit. The court goes on to cite to Bay, B-E-Y, versus the state of Indiana at 847, Fed 3rd, 559, on pages 559 through 560, a 7th Circuit Court of Appeals decision from 2017. Mr. Brooks
Objection.
knowingly.
I consent to being called that name, nor do I know any individual by that name, Your Honor.
Please do the courtesy of not interrupting the state, as they did not interrupt you for over the almost 50 minutes that you spoke. Thank you. Please continue.
Your Honor, the record is very clear that Mr. Brooks knowingly, willingly, voluntarily, and intelligently insisted on representing himself in this trial. He has no constitutional right to stand by counsel, none whatsoever. The court patiently went through the form and advised him of many of the things he's complaining about here today: the resources of the state, the knowledge of the law, his ignorance of the law. And his words to this court, and I quote to the best of my ability, "It don't make me flinch one bit." That's what he told this court, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. Now he's here complaining over and over and over again how unfair this is to him. It's highly offensive. I don't know, because unfortunately I was talking to my investigator, if he accused this court of treason, but I certainly heard that word come out of his mouth, and it is absolutely shocking that he would throw such a word around so loosely in this courtroom. This court has been exceedingly patient, exceedingly respectful of his rights at every turn, at every turn. I want to address this claim that he only had 3 days to prepare for trial. It's absolutely a false statement. The record should reflect that he does have 3 banker's boxes on his table. The record should reflect that every time the state calls a witness to the stand, he swiftly and easily turns to those boxes, which appear to be alphabetized or organized in some fashion by the public defenders who turned it over to him, and quickly removes the folder of the witness who's testifying and effectively cross-examines that witness using notes from the public defender. We know that because he's tried to confront witnesses with the notes from the public defender. He is not going into this blind or with one arm tied behind his back. They did all the homework, and he's simply sitting here reading their notes, reading their cross-examination questions, and asking the questions, and then going on to his ridiculous questions having to do with his belief in the sovereign citizen movement. There's no way this record would reflect that this defendant is not adequately prepared for trial. He's never asked for a speedy trial. He makes conflicting statements. On one hand, you violated his rights because it's taken us so long to get to trial. And on the other hand, we're rushing him to this case and he hasn't had adequate time to prepare. He is not denied access to legal materials in the jail. The record is very clear from the jail administrator. It should not be confused. He misleads this court intentionally to say, I only get out of my cell 2 hours a day. That is a fact. That is for his own safety, so that other inmates do not inflict physical harm upon him. He has access to a tablet. He has access to a computer. Whether he chooses to ask for those resources is up to him. I would also cite the court to U.S. ex rel. George versus Lane, Lane, 7th Circuit Court of Appeals at 718 Fed 2nd 226, where a pro se defendant attempted to complain on appeal about his lack of access to a computerized legal research system, paralegal training, or law school education. The court rejected that contention and said, once a defendant has asserted his right to refuse counsel and conduct his own defense, he has no constitutional right to access those resources. And again, you warned him, Judge. You fairly warned him. And he basically acted as if you were insulting him.
So here's an interesting thing. That's something in the law. People say, oh, well, someone can represent themselves, but if they need help, they can just hire an attorney. Why is attorney Opper saying that he doesn't have the right to an attorney? No, he has the right to an attorney. He just does not have the right to a state-funded attorney. He would have to pay out of pocket for an attorney, because if the court offers you an attorney and assigns an attorney, you say, hey, I dismiss them, and makes it clear you don't need them. And guys, watch Daryl Brooks in the preliminary portions of this trial before the trial started. And his arrogance showed, contained, but it still showed how he thought that he was above the law. In that he made it clear that he did not need the police, he did not need attorneys in any way, shape, or form. But then the moment things get tough, the moment that he's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm out of my league. Oh, well, this court is behaving in treason because I don't have an attorney. You made it clear you did not want the attorneys. The judge made a finding that you would represent yourself. And then guess what, buddy? Don't they decide? That's the whole thing. That's what he wanted. In Illinois, apparently it matters state by state whether or not standby counsel will represent them. Apparently in Illinois, in that county, there were not enough attorneys to cover the pro se representatives. So therefore, I guess the governor of the county or whatever the case was made it clear that, hey, like, we don't have enough attorneys, so therefore we're not going to allow attorneys to be standby counsel because it's a waste of time. And I don't remember who it was. I think it was a Law and Crime Network that said that, hey, what Daryl Brooks wanted was a paralegal, someone to research the case law, someone to file things appropriately, someone to tell him the procedures in the state and yada yada yada. But he would be the face. He would be the one bullying and harassing and antagonizing his witnesses, even though he's the one that committed the crimes. That's what he wanted. But that didn't happen. I'm sorry. I meant Wisconsin. I'm sorry. Waukesha, Wisconsin. I apologize. You know what it is? I'm thinking about FOIAs and Audit Them, who's in Illinois, who also said that he did need an attorney when he went to court. He represented himself in one video, then the next video say, oh, well, anyway. You should have hired Wolverine Transparency. I mean, but here's the thing. You couldn't hire me to represent you in court. You can't hire anyone to represent you in court that's not your attorney. That's, those are the rules. Anyway, that's that. But, let's let Attorney Opper wrap this up, guys.
And said it didn't make him flinch one bit. Much of the last 50 minutes, which this court has graciously extended him the opportunity to go on and on and on, is nothing more than legal mumble jumble. He's reading from some typewritten transcript. I can see that from where I'm sitting. I don't know who's giving him these materials, but he has an agenda here. It's to stall, delay, disrupt, intimidate, and it's not going to work. Thank you.
Objection to that. Your Honor, that's a load of crap.
Mr. Brooks, it's my opportunity now. I gave you about 50 minutes.
I just want to object to the disrespectful comments that was just made. I'm not trying to hold you up from what you're gonna say, but that's a load of crap.
Mr. Brooks,
for her to sit there,
Mr. Brooks,
for her to sit there.
Objection is noted.
For her to sit there, Your Honor.
No, it's my turn. Let me go through this. I graciously.
I love how he's disrespected by comments made that are legitimate by the district attorney. But he's angry that he was disrespected for calling out his conduct. You killed people, dude. 6 people. I'm sorry, 7 people. And you're disrespected? We're going to watch this video, and I'm not saying another word, guys. I'm getting worked up.
Gave you 50 minutes to raise all these various points that you want to bring up. I then gave the state an opportunity to respond. That is the proper procedure. I followed decorum. I followed civility. I did not interrupt you. The state did not interrupt you. Your objection to their characterization, it's noted for the record. I am going to render a decision at this point. Please listen, and please do not interrupt. As I indicated, the defendant spoke for about 50 minutes, raising a litany of complaints and issues and theories regarding his view of how this case has proceeded. Many of these issues, if not the vast majority or even all of them, have already been addressed by this court in one way or the other. Looking at, for example, his complaints about change of venue. It is true this court denied the change of venue motion. The court made a record at that hearing. I stand behind that record and that decision. The arguments made regarding that decision, which I would note he has yet to file an interlocutory appeal challenging that, are nothing more than speculative, without a basis in law or fact. To say that this jury is biased would be a complete miscarriage of justice and a mischaracterization of the process this court painstakingly took in order to obtain a fair and impartial jury. There is absolutely nothing on this record before the court throughout these proceedings to suggest that this is a biased jury. I stand behind my previous determination and the process that this court went through, including initially calling an unusually large panel for which the clerk of court's office sent the initial qualification questionnaire, and then ultimately a case-specific questionnaire was sent to approximately 1,400 jurors or potential jurors. There was ample opportunity for the parties throughout the proceedings leading up to the end of August to review those materials. There were numerous strikes for cause that this court entertained. Even prior to that specific hearing, the parties met, they conferred. The state agreed not to challenge the vast majority of the challenges to jurors brought by the defense. Then there was the hearing. Then this court, at jury selection, allowed for an indefinite number of strikes for cause. Many were granted, if not all. And then even on the day that the jurors were brought in, the court provided the jurors with a supplemental questionnaire dealing specifically with the issue of exposure to the political advertisements. And then each party had the opportunity to exercise 10 preemptory strikes, which is well above the number of strikes allowed for by statute, which would be 6 based upon the homicide charges, 1 extra for the alternates, which would be 7 But out of an abundance of caution and in the interest of justice, the court gave each side 10, for which many of those Mr. Brooks chose not to exercise, and then pursuant to state law, the clerk of court chose names to strike by lot. Again, there's nothing on this record before the court to suggest that this jury that we have is anything but fair and impartial. And I take issue with the characterization that they are anything but. They've been diligent, they take notes, they are attentive, they come to this court. As the case law says, there's a presumption that they come to the court without bias, and it's through the jury selection process that the parties and the court ferret out that bias. Many of the jurors who were brought in were struck for cause. Many others were not. But ultimately, we have a fair and impartial jury. As I listen to the litany of issues and arguments and complaints raised by Mr. Brooks, I would note that they are all unsubstantiated, conclusory allegations and assertions without an adequate basis raised in law and fact. There's been several misstatements by Mr. Brooks regarding either the record that's been made, items that's been provided to him, or the basis for the court either sustaining, I should say, or overruling objections, for an example. There's been a mischaracterization of his rights that he claims to have. As I have stated repeatedly, your constitutional rights are not absolute when you're in a criminal trial, meaning your First Amendment right is not unfettered. It is frankly no different why the case law is very clear. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. No one has a First Amendment right to do that. In a criminal case, the parties have an obligation to follow not only the Constitution and the statutes that are applicable, but to follow criminal procedure, the rules of evidence. That is what circumscribes the rights that a defendant or the state has in a criminal trial. The issues you raise, for example, regarding subject matter jurisdiction are baseless, they're frivolous, and they're not anything this court needs to address further. The fact that you now are asking questions about whether this is admiralty court or a military court or a court of competent jurisdiction is frivolous. This court has jurisdiction over the criminal cases brought before it by the state of Wisconsin. In this particular case, these are allegations that criminal conduct occurred in the city of Waukesha. The city of Waukesha is within the county of Waukesha. This court sits as an elected official in the county of Waukesha to hear these types of cases. That is clear. The only argument or relief that I could discern through the course of those 50 minutes was Mr. Brooks's request that this case be dismissed for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. And as I have just indicated, this court has jurisdiction. It's not been raised. Let me rephrase that. The issue has not even been raised properly. There's never been a written motion. There's never been even an oral motion that would comport with 80201, which requires that the basis for the relief being requested be stated with specificity and be based in law and fact. The vast majority of the points that you raise, sir, are issues that you can raise on appeal. It is true. You have a right to an interlocutory appeal. I would not be the judge to decide any of those issues. So the fact that you complain about what I do, it's noted. The record is going to be very clear. All right. I have a court reporter who's taking down the record of everything that is said and done in this courtroom when we are on the record. And so I don't have to all the time say it's noted for the record because we're on the record. I sometimes do that to hopefully make it clear to you or to note it. I don't always do that, but I'm not required to do that. You raise issues concerning, I guess, plea bargaining. I have never been made aware that you would want to change your plea in this case, and that you're not aware of the state wanting to do that. That is the first time any such issue has been raised, and I see it as a distraction and as simply a statement made by you as part of the litany of things that you are not perhaps pleased with. As far as my conduct in this case, I already addressed those issues. I'm not going to revisit issues related to my familiarity with the father of one of the victims. That was done very early on. I made a very thorough record, and I gave the parties at that point an opportunity to address that after they had ample time to digest that information. While it's true you have a right to seek substitution of judge, it is not unfettered. There was a time limit for that. In fact, it was exercised because a prior judge was assigned to this case, and your attorneys on your behalf exercised that right of substitution. So to say that you have the right to seek recusal at any time would be a misstatement of the law. And even if you think that should be exercised or there is a valid claim for that, sir, it's not been raised in the proper way before this court. This trial will keep going. I still expect the basic rules of civility and decorum to be followed. That includes, sir, that when there is an objection to a question that you ask, that you wait for the state to indicate their objection and the basis for it. If I need additional information, I will ask for it. If I don't need additional information, I will rule on it. And I do expect that even if you disagree with that ruling, that you will abide by it and that you will move forward. Whether that's asking a new question, rephrasing a question that you've asked, I do ask that you follow that simple rule of decorum, and that's you not interrupt, and then you follow the rules of procedure. As far as the other issues you raised concerning your right to assistance of counsel, the record before this court over the many days that that topic has been raised, even going back to the 2 afternoons of hearings this court held, I will not revisit those. I believe I honored your request to represent yourself as is required by the Constitution of not only the United States of America, but the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin. And that you made a very deliberate choice after being fully advised and aware of all the requirements that I needed to go through under the case law, both case law in the state of Wisconsin and case law from the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, which not only guides this court, but this court must follow. I agree with the state and would draw your attention to the 2 cases that were cited. United States ex rel. George versus Lane, found at 718 F. 2nd 226. and Retzloff versus Moran, found at 2022 Westlaw 3045190. I let you put on the record all of those points in order to give you that opportunity to make a full record of the issues that you have believed that you are entitled to raise. But those sovereign arguments regarding written findings of fact, bill of particulars, regarding contracts that you enter into, regarding admiralty court, etc., they're baseless, sir. And this court need not address them further. Now, with that, I know it's 11:30, but I would like to get one more witness on before at least we break for lunch. The jury, of course, has been out for quite some time. So I'll instruct Madam Clerk to bring the jury out.
You didn't bring up the Higgins-Levine 415 US 533 decision. That was not addressed, and the issues are still not addressed. There's still been no proof to anything that you said, anything that the prosecution has said. It still hasn't been.
As noted, and we will continue. Bring the jury out, please.
There still hasn't been.
Mr.
AKA, she's sick of it. Dude, she's sick of hearing your nonsense arguments. Just as a reminder for everyone, this was not a planned stream. For people joining and saying, why are you streaming? You just streamed. This was originally for public safety, having a sex offender that molested a 12-year-old child. Yeah, I said it. Ooh, yeah. On their stream, talking about fighting for his rights. But as you guys seem more interested in looking at Daryl Brooks and how Daryl Brooks killed 7 people. And people are talking about Judge Doro. Can we just applaud Judge Doro for how she handled this idiot? For how Judge Doro put every stupid argument he had. As someone in the works in the legal sector that understands different legal arguments and has seen in court legal arguments that are made by people trying to defend themselves, none of his arguments are valid. None of them. But anyway, guys, it's tough. Quick question before, I only had 25, 30 people in a half hour ago. We're up to close to 50. I'm going to step away and do a couple of things, but do you guys want to watch another Daryl Brooks video? Comment yes. I'm here. We'll discuss it. But it's funny because this was an emergency stream that I hopped on just to cover the Tiffany stream with the sex offender, and then I left. I was going to leave, but then people were saying, "Hey, Will, why are you ending the stream?" And I'm like, "All right, I'll play a video." Oh, heck yeah! All right, let's another Daryl Brooks video. Ray, you know what? Because Ray is here, Aunt Ray. If you guys don't know, she's my aunt. She's my aunt, Aunt Ray. James says yes. Okay, all right, no problem. It's just people I had one hater of the channel. Vegas VIPs. Say, oh, when in doubt, pull out Daryl Brooks. That's the only way your channel actually survives. Dude, shut up. You get 12 views in your streams. Shut up. Let's watch. We're going to watch this video where Daryl Brooks has a temper tantrum. Because he's put in the other courtroom. The right for him to testify has been stripped, which we really should look at that video, but I don't have it up. Man. All right, a couple other people. All right, cool. All right, so we'll be on another half hour, sure. But once this video's over, I'm going to bed because I'm exhausted. But again, Daryl Brooks, he is given the right whether or not to not testify. He just sits there and chooses not to answer, thinking that that is a defense, thinking that you can't force my answer if I don't answer. But the judge proves that she can do that. She can't. So watch his temper tantrum that he has. After he has a temper tantrum, puts up a box for it, and says, well, I don't need to participate. Just watch the video, guys. Have a look.
I'd ask that it be put in writing, but I'll also give you this opportunity to verbally advise the court and make your requests. Do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions, sir? I would note he put 2 boxes right in front of where he's seated, so I can't presently see his face. I see his jacket is off, so I can see the outline of his arms, and I can see the jacket on the back of his chair. He is unmuted. I've confirmed previously regarding the audio working, and I will just ask him a second time, sir, do you have any requests as it relates to the draft packet of jury instructions, whether that be any additions, corrections, edits, or deletions?
And Your Honor, would it be possible for the bailiffs to just move the boxes off the table so
Yes,
we
I
can
think
see?
that's fair. I'm going to advise the bailiff to remove the box so I can see Mr. Brooks. I don't know what he's doing behind there. He has quieted down. I haven't heard him in a while. If you could move the second one because it can interfere with the microphone as well. And the third one. Mr. Brooks, I'm going to ask you for a third time. Do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions? Any requests for instructions that aren't included that you believe should be included? Any edits or deletions from the packet that has been provided to you?
Hey, why do you still need to move my box?
Because I couldn't see you, sir.
Or what?
I've asked you twice now, and I'll ask you a third time. Do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions? Any additions, deletions, edits, or otherwise?
Hey, man, you don't got to talk to me like that.
Do you have any requests
First of all,
related
what?
to the jury instructions, sir?
Man, yeah, I got requests. It ain't like they gonna be honored though.
As it relates to the jury instructions, sir, what are your?
I heard what the hell you said, man.
Well, Mr. Brooks, that was very disrespectful.
Yeah, and I've been getting disrespected since the beginning of this whole process. So welcome to the club.
Mr. Brooks, do you have any requests?
I'm tired of my rights being trampled on here too. I'm tired of it too.
Do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions?
Ain't nobody understand why I'm frustrated. How you gonna sit up there and make decisions based on what you think I said when I didn't get consent for you to do any such thing?
Sir, I understand you may be upset, and I really do, but I've made my determinations.
You don't understand nothing. You don't understand anything, Your Honor. You don't.
I'm going to mute him again because he's not answering the questions that I'm very clearly asking him, and I've given him 5 opportunities. Mr. Brooks, do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions? I'll unmute you for that answer.
I can't hear everything you're saying.
Mr. Brooks, I know the audio's turned up. I believe you can hear me. You've chosen not to put the headphones on. That's your choice. My final question to you, do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions?
I just don't. Am I muted? Am I muted?
No.
Before he goes on his hypocritical rant, think about it, guys. Like, imagine if any of you, all 44 people, I heard what the hell you said, man. Imagine talking to a judge like that. And this is the perfect answer. He didn't hold him in contempt because it made zero difference. Because the fact that this trial went 17 days, I think it was, or 18, I'm sorry, Yeah, 18 different days. I'm sorry, 18 business days. So it really went over a month. How come you quote Ray Head? You don't quote anything I say. You know what? Hez, get the tasing material ready. Get the tasing material. You're gonna do a tase and a happy dance to end my stream. If you can. If you can't reasonably, just ignore me and don't respond. But yeah, it's there. You're not just gonna sit there all night. But anyway, I know it's late, but if you're gonna do that for me. If you can, of course. But it's like, imagine any one of us being pro se. We went to court for a traffic ticket, for a simple real estate matter, for a divorce, or anything. I'm just thinking randomly. And we spoke to a judge like that. We would be marched out of that courtroom in handcuffs for disrespecting the judge. And this judge has so much patience. And you know what it is? She sees the bigger picture. Because as someone that works in the legal sector, there are a lot of judges that have their heads up their behind. And they're quick to, hey, don't you disrespect me. Hey, you show me respect. This judge dealt with so much crap. Hez, please comment on that. But dealt with so much nonsense. And Daryl Brooks pushed her to the limit, and she never broke. The people are like, oh, she deserves to run for president. She deserves to run for the Supreme Court. I'm for that. Hez, please take it away, please.
I agree 100%. I covered this whole trial while it was going on my show. This whole thing was insane, and people kept saying in my chat, even at the time, like, why is she letting him go on? Why is she letting him go on? And it was like, one, she's giving him the rope to hang himself. Two,
Exactly.
Before it even started, he said that no matter what, he's going to appeal it. She was making sure that the record was absolutely clear, like every, I dotted, every T crossed to the letter, everything was on there. Hey, did I give him a shot? Okay. I let him talk for a freaking hour uninterrupted. He can't say I didn't give him a chance. And how many times he did that.
And think about the argument. Subject matter jurisdiction was never proven for the record. She gave him a written decision. I know, cover your face, because that was his big argument. And I'm like, she gave you a written decision on day 6, day 7. And it's like, that was probably the biggest thing on appeal. Oh, they never proved subject matter jurisdiction. They're like, well, we have a copy here in the file of the written decision she gave you.
Did you know that part of his sentencing was money he had to pay in compensation to the victims?
Restitution's the term, yes.
Right. And yeah, so part of his sentence was the restitution. And he's like, I don't have any money for that. And she's like, this was a big trial. If you get a book deal or a movie deal or anything like that, that's where the money's going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that he appealed that? And when the judge saw everything from this case on the appeal, they increased it by an additional $10,000.
Sure did. Because guess what? This is an iconic trial. We might not have heard of it now, but like 10 years from now, we both will Frauditing might be non-existent. Our channels might not even exist. But someone's going to come back to him and say, hey, what you did was, that was an iconic trial, history making. I mean, look, he's a young guy. He's younger than you. He's barely older than me. He's like in his mid 30s. Right. He has a good 30 to 40 years living in prison. This case is going to be it's like, this is the blueprint for anyone else that wants to go pro se in court. The do's and do nots.
Yep.
And it's like, and I love that because someone's going to say, hey, I'll give you, I'll interview you. Let's do a movie. Let's do a book about you. And he'll make all this money for his iconic nature, and won't get a penny of it because it all has to go to restitution. And that's beautiful.
Yes, indeed.
That's beautiful. I brought you on to do a happy dance and a tasing. I know I don't have the equipment. Somehow I got to get the equipment, but
I heard that. Yeah.
If you don't,
I'll teach you how to do it. We'll have just remind me like in an email, and we'll have a StreamYard meeting with just the two of us, and I'll show you what you need to do to make it work. Because it's all set up in StreamYard for me.
Say it again.
Email me.
No, the last sentence. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying that because all the stuff you're talking about is stuff that I have set up in my StreamYard.
Right.
That's why you can't do it in yours, but I'll show you how. It's real easy.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you. If you're okay hanging out, there's like 10 minutes left where him like just screaming at the judge over nonsense. That's why I thought it was a good video to end, because it just shows his lack of self-control, his lack of decency. I mean, honestly, just lack of regard for the gravity of the proceedings that he's in. Like, this isn't Erica Patterson he's screaming at. This is a judge.
Right.
He looks
That's
at Judge
just
Doro
him
as
being himself, which is no good.
And he looks at Judge Doro as a peer, which is like if you look at like day 18 or 17 or 18, he smiles like, "Come on, Judge." I'm like, no. And like he'll smile at her and be like, "Hey, it's my buddy." Like, no. This is a supreme figure in the legal community. This is not she's not your friend.
No. Well, that's just it though. It's like throughout, that's one of the things that was fascinating is throughout the course of the trial, and it's so blatantly obvious, he tries every like narcissistic control tactic there is, the being nice to try and get them to agree,
Exactly.
being mean, all of it, every tactic you could think of, and none of them work because Daryl's a rock, man.
Anyway, this guy's a freaking hero. I don't know why you're making fun of him. He's a sovereign citizen, man. And they're the best. You know what I'm saying? What? Ow.
Hey, give him a tasing. Do it now. Not. Clap.
All right.
It never gets old. That's why I love having him on for that. We'll get on stream. I mean, I got your email. I responded. I don't know if you saw. We'll get on. I'll be on your channel end of March, but like we'll get on beforehand, get all that ready. So hey, whatever you guys want to come on, absolutely.
This guy, he's complaining every time I'm up here about how I'm not sending him anything. Oh, and then he wins a prize, and all of a sudden he's contacting me.
No, I made it clear, dude. I'm an airhead. I just forget. I forgot.
I know.
We're
It's
good.
all
Anyway, let's watch some more of the video. Let's watch about. There's another like 10 minutes left. We'll watch.
I just told you, I don't know how many times, I can't hear everything you say.
Then you should put the headphones on.
Don't you understand? What about that don't you understand? If you see headphones, you can see everything. You can see boxes, but then you see headphones.
Have you asked for headphones to be provided, sir?
I shouldn't have to ask for them. I didn't ask for my boxes to be moved.
I believe they took them away previously because you were so agitated. They were perhaps afraid you might break them.
I'm still agitated. I ain't gonna stop being agitated.
I thought he couldn't hear. How did he hear say agitated?
You sit up here and do everything you're doing and think God don't see what you're doing. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Mr. Brooks, do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions?
I can hear what you're saying. I can hear what you're saying.
You just told me you didn't. So which one is it?
Yeah, I got the headphones on. You can't see that?
What are your requests as it relates? What are your requests as it relates to the jury instructions, sir?
Man, don't try to come with this whole little image sir. That was all this sir and all this. I'm gonna get where I'm going. Try to put on this little act like you so worried about what's going on with me. You don't give a damn. Never did.
Mr. Brooks, you're being disrespectful again.
You've been being disrespectful. You've been being disrespectful.
I need to know what your position is regarding the jury instructions. And I need to know it now.
What you mean? Who you talking to?
I'm talking to you. I need to know whether you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions, sir.
Yeah, first of all, why am I charged with 2 bail jumpings when I was already charged in Milwaukee for the same bail jumping? That's double jeopardy.
That's not double jeopardy. Your objection is noted. It's overruled.
It is double jeopardy. How you gonna charge me with the same charge that I'm already charged with? You can't do that. The Fifth Amendment says that you can't place somebody in jeopardy of life and limb.
Double jeopardy isn't in the Fifth.
Twice. I'm already charged with the same count.
And I think they break this down perfectly because it just goes to show his ignorance to the law, because double jeopardy does not apply to 2 counts of the same charge in 2 separate counties. And
It's like if I rob 2 banks, one in Detroit and one in New York, and I get busted for the one in New York, oh, well, you can't charge me for the one in Detroit. I've already been charged for bank robbery.
Exactly. It saves him from being charged and convicted twice in the same county.
Yep.
It saves him from going to New York, finding a loophole, and then getting out of it, and then them charging him twice. And again, his ignorance to the law is evident. And it's like, there are people, I saw people, well, he has a good point. Double jeopardy says he can't be charged twice. No, it's nothing to do with being double jeopardy applies to the conviction
Right.
that he receives in the jurisdiction he is in.
Right.
So, like, if you rob 20 different banks in 20 different jurisdictions, you're telling me you can only be charged for one, Mr. Brooks? I forget about, working in the legal field for a number of years, dealing with people with criminal records. That argument, just as a common person, just doesn't make sense. But I digress.
This for the same case. It's the same bail jumping charge. So how am I charged with that here?
Sir, I'm not going to provide a legal explanation other than to say I've reviewed that. Your objection is noted, but the jury will be instructed regarding the bail jumping.
It can't be, because that's double jeopardy. Under the law, if two charges are identical in nature, you cannot place me in jeopardy of life and limb twice. You can't do that.
What's your next?
The same case number.
What's your next request, sir? I'm noting your objection.
I'm trying to talk. Can I get it out? You always want me to not interrupt you, but you always find a way to talk over me.
I understand your position. I'm saying it's overruled.
You always want respect. You always want respect, but don't want to give it. I'm charged with the same bail jumping charge here that I've already been charged with. That is double jeopardy. You can't charge me for the same exact bail jumping that I'm already charged with, that I was charged with before this even came about.
Sir, the bail jumping charges in Waukesha County are based upon your violating your bail while in Waukesha County by driving through the Christmas parade and allegedly killing 6 people and injuring 61 others.
Okay.
That's the distinction.
Again, there is no distinction. It's the same charge.
It's the same offense. It doesn't mean it's the same factual basis, sir.
He is not charged with bail jumping with the data violation of November 21 in Milwaukee County anywhere. Further, the double jeopardy prohibition would prevent him from being convicted twice, not charged twice.
All right, so we've addressed that, sir. What other requests do you have as it relates to the jury instructions?
I want to know why I'm even charged twice with the same thing. You can't charge me in pursuant to a case in Milwaukee that I'm already charged with bail jumping for. I'm already charged with bail jumping for that already. So you can't essentially say, oh, well, because you were already on bail, we're going to charge you.
It's a different data violation, sir. The conduct for the bail jumping is related to the allegation that you committed a new crime in Waukesha County while out on bond from the Milwaukee County case.
Yeah, but I'm referring to the first bail jumping count. The first. I'm not referring to both of them. I'm referring to one of them.
My understanding, sir, is there's different dates of violations as it relates to that. So I've noted your objection now repeatedly. I understand it. Your request to, I guess, dismiss the bail jumping counts are denied.
I didn't say nothing about counts. I said one.
Whether it's one count or both, it's denied.
Am I not being understood? You can't charge me with the same charge twice. You can't.
It's two separate cases, sir. There's two.
Is it that 971.23? Is it that the statute that refers to the double?
All right, sir, I'm not going to have an argument. This isn't fruitful. I understand what you're saying. You're saying there shouldn't be two counts of bail jumping. You believe it's double jeopardy. I disagree with that. There's separate.
I'm already charged with it though.
This is a circular argument, sir. It doesn't change the fact that, from my perspective, the two bail jumping counts are going to proceed forward. There's been sufficient evidence presented to warrant the jury being instructed. What other requests do you have, sir?
Don't talk over me. Don't talk over me. Just like you don't want me to talk over you. Just like you don't want me to talk over you. Just like you don't.
Mr. Brooks, what other requests do you have?
And I just asked you not to talk over me. You've been making your record the whole time you've been over there. You had me muted. I didn't see no requests over there. I didn't write nothing to go over there. I let you do what you was doing. No matter how egregious and biased it is, I let you do
He
what you
let
doing.
her.
Because we both know that what you're doing is not right.
He thinks he's in control of the trial of the judge has. That's what he thinks. Hold on. He thinks he's in control of the trial. That's what drives me insane. He thinks he controls. I didn't approve him. I didn't allow this.
Right.
I didn't let you, dude. Like, so fun fact. I don't know if you were on, but I said this earlier. I'm like, I'm probably gonna. I am gonna do like a top 10 video why Daryl Brooks got convicted. Like a fun thing. People are here for the frauders. We're all here for the frauders, but Daryl Brooks is like someone we keep in our back pocket. But like number 9 or 8 is going to be this interaction. Even though it wasn't seen, the judge was having no leniency with him. The fact that she kept asking him very simple and direct questions. And he clearly, James says, is she sleeping with them? Only, clearly no. But it's like, why else would she be so lenient towards this? Oh my God.
Well, he definitely talks to her the same way he talks to his baby mama.
His woman, Erica Patterson.
Yeah.
Like, totally. Jesus. Keep watching.
I actually thought she was, I mean, like when she was on the stand, I was so sympathetic for her. And I couldn't believe, like, to me, she seemed like somebody who, like, I don't know, like
down on hard times.
Right. Exactly. And,
like someone who actually could be, because she even said she had her CNA certificate. So like she actually did go to school to try and get a job, but like I believe it was Brooks that held her down or held her back, honestly.
Yeah. It's like, this is the father of my children. What am I supposed to do? Like
right.
Young and in love and all that. We all know.
It hurts because she came all the way to Wisconsin to be with him.
Yep.
And then he lived with their mom or his mom. And then for whatever reason, she had to leave, probably because he was abusing her there and had to live in a shelter.
I'm sure of it.
That hurts, dude. I mean, I've seen some interview videos of her after the trial, and it's like she dealt with a lot from this dude. And the fact that on the last day, which the judge even explicitly tells the jury, after, they found her guilty. So like, the jury was clearly watching. But when she made her decision, part of that was the 40 phone calls that he made to her while she was in jail, threatening her, cursing and screaming at her. Like, it was so like this dude, like he thoroughly believes that she's responsible for all these charges, though he's the one that drove over innocent, helpless children.
And old people. Most
old ladies.
Because the people like in between were able to get out of the way fast enough,
But children, innocent children, to me, what kills me are people that harm the helpless. Children,
One of the things
pregnant women, pregnant middle-aged women, and older people. That hurts. That kills me.
once you see it, you can't unsee it. But one of the reasons why I covered this trial and watched it so close is because, like I said, I was in Wisconsin when that happened. And I wasn't like near this or anything.
Right.
So what does
Right.
that mean? Why do I keep bringing that up? I saw the footage. Like now you can't see but the edited footage. But I saw it when it was happening. You know, like the brand new news broadcast in breaking
right.
stories in Wisconsin where like, and I mean, it's not like, I mean, I saw when the car hit the, you know, like, because they always cut that part out. Even in the trial, they don't show us that. But I saw
They
that
show it
at
to
the
the
time,
jury,
so
but
that
not to us, right.
always stuck in my head, you know?
And that was why it was funny on day 15 when Brooks would Brooks would always ask his witnesses about, did you see someone get hit by the car? And a few people were like, yes. Describe what you saw. And they hesitated. They're like, that's traumatized. In fact, the last witness that Brooks covered was so traumatized that she didn't even want to talk about her trauma, but he pushed it out of her. She didn't tell the police. She didn't tell her family. She had to answer it because Brooks asked her on the earth, and he was like, you were injured? Well, I wasn't physically injured, she said.
Right.
And it's like, he had zero sympathy for that. Like it's let's keep watching. Let's wrap this video up, Hez.
Yeah.
Questions are noted. I understand that. If you can't answer my question, I'm going to move on.
You can't. I haven't given you consent.
All right, I'm going to mute him once again. He refuses to answer simple questions regarding if he has any requests. He just made an argument regarding the bail jumping, so clearly he has an understanding about the law as it relates to that. It may be a misunderstanding about the law and double jeopardy, but he made an argument. I've denied it. I'd like to know if he has any other requests. If he can stay on topic, I'll mute. I will unmute him again, and he can tell me the list, just like the state went through a list. I need to get through their list. I'm asking you to list out all your requests, and then I will take each one up in turn. So here is your opportunity to give me your other requests, not debate with me about prior rulings. Go ahead, Mr. Brooks.
Don't sit up here and try to play no game talking about you giving somebody an opportunity that you haven't gave me an opportunity to properly defend myself and put stuff into evidence, which I've asked you repeatedly to do before we even got to the trial. You told me you wasn't in the evidentiary phase.
Mr. Brooks, do you have any other requests as it relates to the jury instructions? This is probably the 10th or so time I've asked you this question.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So please stop being incorrect, Norman. Please stop.
Do you have any additional requests as it relates to the jury instructions?
Yes. That first count 74 bail jumping needs to be dismissed. You can't charge me with two things. You can't charge me with the same charge twice.
All right, I've made a note of that. What's the next issue?
Either one county gonna charge me with it or y'all, but it can't be both. It's the same. It's pursuant to the same exact thing that I was on bail for. The same exact thing. The same exact case. So why are we giving the jury instructions on two cases from another county?
I've made a note of that. What other requests do you have?
Man, this is ridiculous. So I'm not even able to adequately defend myself, present evidence, do anything, because everything I say is gonna be found a reason for it not to be valid. What are we doing here, Your Honor? What is the
Mr. Brooks?
Why should I be here when
I've made a note of your request as to count 74. Do you have any other requests as it relates to the jury instructions?
Why are we even having jury instructions? Why do I have to even sit here in this courtroom at this point?
The Constitution.
Everything you've been doing without my consent anyway. So you're gonna find a way to do this without my consent. So why do I need to be here for?
Your objection for lack of consent is noted for the record.
Okay, yeah.
Any other requests, sir?
You talk a good game to save yourself enough space. For everything I bring up, it has no merit in your court. None.
All right, I've asked him many times. I've advised him and I'll advise him once again. If he fails to answer the question, I'm moving on. Do you have any other requests as it relates to the jury instructions, sir?
You can't move on because I haven't given you consent to.
All right, he did not answer. So I'm muting him again. The only request that he has made as it relates to the jury instructions, as he pounded his fist once again, raised his voice. I understand, I really do, that he's upset with my decision to cut off his ability to present a defense, but that decision was made based on his conduct and his conduct alone, as I've outlined already on the record. So the only request that he made was as it relates to the bail jumping counts. I'm denying those requests, whether it be to dismiss one count or to dismiss both on double jeopardy, or to just not instruct the jury. However way I interpret it, I'm denying that. All right, let me go through the states.
Your Honor, can I add one more?
Sure.
I'm sorry. 154 summary of evidence. I believe we had.
Hold on, Hez. Did you see that? Hold on.
Actually, 2 maps.
Did you see at the end? Like, he's even getting frustrated at this. He's even getting frustrated. He's like, oh my God. He's like, they're not believing my arguments. Like, I'm above the law. They're not getting it. Double jeopardy. They're not getting it.
Well, it's like, it's weird. It's like he's like the most extreme example, right? But the sovereign citizens,
of course, right.
The frauditors are sovereign citizens light, right? But all of these guys make these in-court arguments that are similar in the sense that it's like, okay, well, like, for example, when you hear these guys talk about why they wanted to defend themselves and why they fired their lawyers and this and that, right?
Right.
Well,
right.
he wasn't doing a proper defense for me. Oh, what's a proper defense? I tell him, go put in this frivolous motion that you know is going to be denied because it's stupid, and he didn't do it. He's not doing his job. His job is to do what I tell him when I tell him, even if it's wrong.
File a motion for finding of fact. Find a motion as an offer of proof for my appeal. Those aren't real filings.
Right.
Oh, my lawyer wouldn't do it. So he wasn't representing me. And then, hold on. And then he represents himself. And he says, oh, I'm trying to file this thing. Judge says no. Oh, the judge was misrepresenting. The judge wouldn't allow me due process because she wouldn't file the frivolous motions I wanted to file.
Right.
Man,
like,
come on, play it. Come on.
Your Honor, you got all these counts against me that no matter what is going to put me in jail for the rest of my life, but drop the one that'll add an extra 6 hours of community service at the end if I survive 250 years.
Right.
Like, it's such a stupid argument. Like, well, you're doing this and that. But even if it wasn't, I mean, well, no, you can't say that about this guy. But basically what it all comes down to is you have to do what I'm telling you, Judge. If you're not, then I'm being railroaded, and this is a travesty of justice, and I'm being denied due process. Why? Because the judge doesn't follow your commands? You're talking nonsense. You didn't let me put that in evidence. Put what in evidence? His entire defense. Did he ever actually mount any kind of a defense?
Well, hold on. That's something I want to address. And I mean, not now, it's late, in the future. Because it's like, if you really watch, and you've watched through the trials, you understand. So if you watch from like day like 3 or 4, where he starts coming back into court with the suit to like the end day, first it's about Erica Patterson. Then it's about the prosecution making up a story. So like when Detective Casey is on the stand, he's like, oh, you're biased, you made up your story. Then it's about the police making up their reports, because one officer he grilled was like, did you watch your full did you write your full report? Who did you give your report to? Could it have been altered in any way by chance? Then it goes back to being about Erica Patterson. Then at the very last minute, he tries to bring up evidence, quote unquote, that the car was on recall and potentially could not have been controlled. And it's like, what was your actual defense, dude? And then when the verdict came out, he just attacked Erica Patterson and blamed her completely. Which, I mean, if you listen to him calling witnesses, I believe his goal was just to. I believe like his goal was to have Erica Patterson be the last person he called. He wanted everyone to come call all of them, keep her waiting all day. And like she would come into court and then be like, Your Honor, can she come back tomorrow? I don't have her paperwork. Because he played that game.
Yep. His last chance ever to torture her, and so he was going to take advantage of it.
I mean, look, I'm against anyone that wants to torture anyone. But anyone wants to torture a girlfriend of 15 years.
Sir, yeah.
I'll just say this. I'll say this, and Casey says he has. Hold on.
Oh,
he has
no.
Depp syndrome. Look, Vegas is a whole nother. He's a whole nother. Guys, guess what, guys? You guys don't know it, but Vegas, he caught me. I tried to go on his stream, try and make sense of him. I was trying to unmute. I accidentally turned my camera on for like half a second. I looked like an idiot. I was going to bed at 11:30 at night. And he's completely owned me, guys. He's ruined my channel. He sent my photo to 13 different channels just to make fun of me. And guess what, guys? I don't care. I put out better photos. So guess what, guys? Vegas is irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. So, I'm going to let you wrap the stream up. If you don't mind giving us a super happy or a cupcake happy dance, and then we're going to end this stream because this is not supposed to be a stream, but it's a stream anyway. So, take it away, please, my friend.
All right, here you go. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already to Era of Transparency. Well, probably everyone in here subscribes.
Subscribe to me, not to Hez. He has enough subscribers.
That's right. I already got subscribers. No, everybody already has some. We could always use more. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Here you go. All right. Okay. Ole. All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me up, Will. I'll see you next time. All right.
Yes, sir. And has he dropped. He was kidding. I was gonna say, and has celebrated tonight, as many of you may have seen, with his 1-year anniversary, and the super happy dance he did was amazing. I'm hoping I was gonna ask him to send me a copy of that just so I can have it, but I'll go on his stream. I know he keeps his streams up and we'll watch it because that was beautiful, guys. And you know what? Hez and Ray have done so much for my channel in the early stages, guys. We're gonna find it. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, guys. So we're gonna play. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna. So what we're gonna do? Oh, hold on.
I got you.
Well, hold on. I pulled it up. I was gonna watch it. I want to watch it with everyone. You have it with you?
Stream though. I got like the video that I used.
Well, please share it. My goodness sakes, please.
Yeah. Hold on. You're talking about the one from today, right?
From today, like the super happy dance with everyone. I have a tear in my eye. Like, I'm not even joking. That was beautiful.
All right, hold on. Let me get it because I got, like I said, the original video that I used, so that you don't have to try and scroll through the whole live stream to get to it.
I knew when it was before I came on because guys, Hez kicked me off after 6 minutes. I was hurt.
Well, this still might be better because again, I don't know, but it's
perfect.
It's the original
Patrick
video.
Says Hez rocks it. Hez totally does, guys. He's amazing. Yeah, it was awesome. Everyone here was on. That's why it's beautiful. That's why I think it's a perfect way to end this impromptu stream where there's nothing streamed, honestly.
Right.
Here we go, guys. Let's enjoy. Let us enjoy super happy dance. Take it away, my friend.
To a pre.
Never heard of them.
Yeah,
oh.
That's my butt. Do, that's my butt. Man, modem.
I'm sorry, I didn't know there was. I didn't know the end was there. You know what it says, and I'll just say this: it's like it's something I've come to appreciate, and we've talked about this before briefly. How important it is that you have a community that loves, forgets about everything else that's around the community, but loves the content that you put out, feels that this is a safe space, and everyone connects together. Because if you didn't connect with your audience, that video would not have existed. And I love that. Hey, look, and the 2-year anniversary next year, this time I hope to be doing a happy dance or something stupid so that I can be on the stream next year.
Yes, absolutely, man. I absolutely.
Yes, firefighter. Literally, that's the reason why this stream is here. Like, and you know that. So cut the crap. Quoting Daryl Brooks. But hey, so Hez, congratulations to you. 1 year with the Saturday Snafus, dude. That's, I mean, I just know since I've known your channel, like, that's been a highlight every week I'm on. When you were without internet, my first response was, "Oh no, I have no entertainment for the evening." And then all this crap happened, and then you were already on, and then you came back.
Yep. Yeah, and now all of a sudden the internet's working again, and then like after my stream ended, it went out again.
Wow.
It's but I mean it is Spectrum because like
what is the reason for it? Is it like a storm or something, or what is it?
Huh?
Is it a storm or something? Like, what's the cause of the internet?
I have no idea. But I mean, again, Spectrum did call us to tell us that they were aware of outages, and I mean, this whole neighborhood was out. It was crazy. Everybody was going nuts.
Oh, okay. Oh, well.
And it was funny because I was talking to Ray, and she's like, "Hey, they have no internet where you live. It's mostly old people, don't they? Just like they can talk to each other, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're all talking about the internet's gone."
That's great. No, that's great. No, I mean that's the reality. Honestly, like, hey, look, bunch of old people. Yeah, how about that internet? Yeah, the internet's out.
Well, I'll tell you what. To be fair, out here, Spectrum pretty much convinced everybody to get their phones. Are all voice over IP, so they didn't have any phones. Their TVs.
Well, that's how the internet works. No one's
Right.
snapping at you. I was just commenting on the fact that's what the stream was about. So no one, I'm not snapping at you. I apologize if I came up with a bit of an attitude. It wasn't that. I was just saying that's literally what the stream started from. But yes, we were here. We covered the whole thing. So if you want to see it, go back to the beginning of the stream, my friend. And thanks for coming. Anyway, look, it's 12:20 where I am. I well past my bedtime. I appreciate you coming on at the end and giving us some nice things at the end of the stream. Thank you as always for being on. We'll see you March 20. Well, I mean, you're welcome to come on anytime, but I think March 23rd I'll be on your channel. That's on my calendar, so we will, at least on my end, see you there for sure.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, and you have a great rest of your evening.
And do me a favor, Hez, if you don't mind, just drop a link to your channel in the chat. I mean, no one here everyone here knows who you are, but still, drop a link. Anyone that doesn't know who Hez is, guys, subscribe to him. He has daily streams. He's one of my favorite channels, if not like my top 2 or 3 channels. Please, he's awesome. Hez is awesome. I'm not just saying that. He is. He's legit awesome.
Thank you. I
mean, the truth is, Ray is the better half, but Hez, we tolerate Hez just to be with Ray. That's the reality.
That's right. See, now you're talking. That's what I'm talking about. Wait, how do I? Is she still here? I know she's got my link. I can't.
She's probably look. I don't expect her to still be here. Hold on. Just go to YouTube. Copy it.
No, wait, I got it.
There we go.
I think that's it.
There we go.
Hey, all right.
So guys, hop on. Has dropped it because guys, for my earlier stream, when I was done streaming, when you had started, I dropped my link there, and the people came back to me and said, "Hey, Will, the stream's not working. He's not even streaming now because you had internet problems." They're like, "Nothing's happening."
Right.
And I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys. I promise you, it's a great stream. I'm like, I promise you, it's a great channel." There you go. Anyway, Hez, thanks for being on, buddy. I appreciate you.
Hey, thank you for having me once again. Take it easy, buddy.
Send me all my gifts. You have my address. I'm waiting. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.
All right, guys. We're going to wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much again for your support. I am just... Hey, Hez. James just subbed. Guys, Hez is awesome. And I'm not just saying it. His channel is amazing. You know what? if you want to join a channel that's just about the frauditors and just about having fun, like I'm still trying to learn how to just do that without like these hater channels coming in and trying to destroy the stream. And here, hey, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Doesn't get better than that, guys. And the thing is, he doesn't delete his stream. So even if you come on after 7 a.m. Eastern, you can still join his streams. If you wake up at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time, I believe it is. I don't know. I'm exhausted. Like, you can still watch his streams and be entertained, guys. His streams are awesome. Like, I'm not just saying that. I'm telling you the truth. Like, I watch his streams every day because 7 a.m. Eastern, I'm on Eastern time zone. So 7 a.m., I join the stream. I get ready. I get up. I drift around my apartment. My coffee brews about 7:30. I'll drip my coffee with my. What I do is I put my stream on my smart TV. I have like a 50-inch smart screen. I'm so tired. Forgive me. A smart TV, 50-inch flat screen on my wall. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'll put the stream up there, at about 8 a.m. Eastern time. I'll get in the shower and I'll be getting dressed and I'll be watching the whole stream. And if anyone from that stream notices, I will at about 9:15 Eastern time say, hey, can I get a tasing? Because I'm just getting to work. But I'm on the stream every morning. And that's like my highlight. And my day just gets started, honestly. So, guys, Hez is awesome, guys. Please sub to Hez. He deserves it. He's been doing this for so long, and he has done a lot for the anti-frauder community. Thank you, guys, so much. Thank you, Hez, again. Thank you, Hez. You are, I say, raise the pillar of the community, but of like the frauditor, anti-frauder channels that legitimately care about their audience. It's you, and you deserve it. So, thanks, buddy. Guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Again. For those asking, this was a stream that was not anticipated for today because we put the stream up because of the live stream that was happening with ForPublicSafety, aka not Chris, aka Tiffany, with a registered sex offender who molested a 12-year-old girl. And Tiffany was saying, go support his channel, go support him, go support him, go support him, which is total nonsense. That's why we're here and we cover some Daryl Brooks. How did this stream get to 4 hours, guys? I'm half asleep. I don't know how this worked out. We're going to end the stream now, guys. And hey, you know what? Again, everything that's here is because of you guys. So I appreciate everyone's support. So, guys, we will see everyone tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is goodness. 16 hours from now, 16 hours and 34 minutes. We'll see everyone then. Thank you guys for your support. And hey, we'll see you next time.
La 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 la. I don't care what you say. La la la.
Hi.
Oh, what an assault.
Talk to them what your business is.
My business is I'm video recording.
Okay. Well,
I'm doing a story.
Look, there's my eye. Oh, sorry. That's my IQ, which is bigger than yours. There's my D.
In the street right now. No, I'm not. What is this? This is part of the street. What is this? What are these lines for?
They should have taken me to jail right now. Either way, guys, they violated my constitutional rights.
It's not. It's called a public easement.
I'm fair. Stop. Come on. You're like an old man, and I'm an old man.
Sir, that's not nice of you, sir. That's not nice of you.
Good baby this time. Fuck you up. Say my mom again, bro. Say my mom again. Say my mom again, bro. Say my mom again. Say it again, bro. Say it again.
Are you serious right now?
Tell me what to do and what I'm supposed to do about all this, because I have no fucking clue. Like, I'm out here just winging it. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Shame on you guys. What the issue is or why you're freaking out or causing this whole disturbance right now. But please de-escalate and calm down. It's closing time and we would all like to leave. Thank you.
You think that me wanting to know where to find you has anything to do with YouTube? You're sadly mistaken. Your name is going on the lawsuit.
And to this day, there has still been no lawsuit. I love you guys so much. See you guys tomorrow.